This is for the sled dogs in the trenches. Real hockey parents, real stories. The good and the gong show. No filters, no sugarcoating, no politics. Just straight hockey talk and the best guests around the barn. Welcome to the Crazy Hockey Dads podcast. All right, boys, grind them corners, chirp responsibly, and bring that savage fire.
Welcome back to episode 66 of the Crazy Hockey Dads podcast, powered by Pacific Rink, the unfiltered podcast for hockey parents. No politics, no sugarcoating, just real talk for hockey parents in the trenches.
Powered by Pacific Rink.
That's what's up.
Love it.
So listen, over the next few months and moving forward, you're going to see Pacific Rink woven into the Crazy Hockey Dads podcast.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a company built on premium gear, understand rink life and all the chaos that comes with it, and we couldn't be more excited to have them part of the brand.
Yes, we're very excited. You have no idea. It's been a bunch of months in the making.
Yes, it has. And shout out to Brad and Jack Sirkin.
Sirkin, yes, thank you so much. We are so excited.
And for any of you that are unfamiliar with Pacific Rink, check them out. They make high quality hockey bags, apparel.
Best gear bag in the business.
Hands down.
No question.
So
Pacific Rink for any hockey. Don't use those stupid hockey bags that you get from your organization because they suck. They fall apart. It's all shit. Go buy yourself a Pacific Rink bag.
Absolutely.
And then you can put all your other cool shit in that Pacific Rink bag.
Yeah, you know what that just made me think of? It made me think of, like the whatever. I don't
No, the what?
No, there's that commercial is like, what's in your wallet?
What's in your Pacific Rink bag?
What's in your pack rink bag?
That's exactly right. I mean,
That's
we
right.
should be a segment. What's in your Pacific Rink bag?
Absolutely.
Dominic's been using Pacific Rink since he's like 6.
Yeah, and Otto more recently.
Yeah.
But he's rocking, he's got one of the pond packs that he wears to school.
Awesome.
Yeah, loves it.
They have awesome shit.
Yeah, so
awesome. The zippers don't break. I've flown. I've been to Nashville, Chicago multiple times, Vegas. Tampa. I've taken it on planes. No issue.
Yeah.
At all. Stick bag. They have a stick bag. They have the.
Oh, you're talking about Dom's hockey bag.
Oh yeah, Dom's hockey bag.
Yeah.
And Pacific Ring also has a stick bag for your sticks when you travel. So for those of you who are getting on an airplane, you need a stick bag.
Yeah.
I suppose you could just tape them together, but you don't want to do that.
No.
I would put them in a Pacific Rink stick bag.
100%.
So we've flown with this stuff many tifrom. Never had a problem.
Yeah, no, it's great gear.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, so
go check it out.
We'll put the website up in the show notes.
In our show notes.
Yep. But
from now on.
Yep.
Exciting stuff.
Yep. Well, welcome Pacific Rink. Happy to be a partner and looking forward to the ride.
Speaking of flying, did I tell you that our team is going to go out to Notre Dame this year for a tournament?
No shit.
Yeah. So
wait, is it very beginning of the season? Early?
It is early.
Yeah.
It's in early it's not. It's in September, but it's in like I want to say the 20 something of September. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to tell everybody to go get their Pacific Rink bag so the bag doesn't get shredded on the airplane because a Pacific Rink bag will not get shredded because it's made of high quality stuff.
Yes.
So I'm ready to go because I have all the stuff.
Well, despite premium quality, a question for you is: have you really seen a hockey bag get shredded?
Oh yeah.
Really?
They're pieces of shit. The ones that you get from the organization.
I guess I haven't flown so much with hockey bags.
Yeah.
I've had my Otto's stuff has gotten lost.
Those bags fall apart all the time. They're pieces of shit. Those like shitty canvas bags that they give you, they're all crap.
You know what I don't like about the canvas
bags?
bags?
The zipper breaks. It's a piece of shit. And has no compartments. Pacific Rink has compartments.
Yeah.
They have spots for your skates. They have stuff for your clothes, like wet, dry. It's sectioned out.
It just makes sense.
Correct. It just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
Yes.
High
quality stuff.
So yeah, before we get on, let's give a shout out to Howie's Hockey.
Howie's Hockey, Crazy 10. Go to howieshockey.com. Check out all their stuff, their tape, their laces. Scott's favorite, the candle. My favorite, the yellow-handled scissors. They have awesome stuff. So go to howieshockey.com and use the discount code Crazy10 for 10% off your Howie's Hockey gear.
That's it. And now that the off season is well underway, if anyone has not yet, check out hockeytraining.com. Coach Kevin, he's got a wide range of stick handling drills, off ice, speed, strength, and agility drills, and just the perfect complement to any off-season training that your kids are getting up to. You can do it from your home. You take your phone, your iPad, take it to a local like high school, track, wherever you want to get in some reps, and use hockeytraining.com for exercises and drills that are just going to really translate to on ice performance. And it's not just for kids, also for adults. Anyone looking to sharpen their beer league game, take a look at Men's League Domination as a program built for adults, and it's also something that's going to translate to on ice performance. So can't say enough good things about Coach Kevin and hockeytraining.com.
Yeah, and then we have Titan Battle Gear. So check out titanbattlegear.com or go to our show notes, titanbattlegear.com/crazy hockey dads. Scott and I trust our kids in Titan Battle Gear. We think it's the best stuff on the market as far as protecting your kids base layer wise. You don't want to have them have a run in with a skate blade if you can avoid it. So go check out titanbattlegear.com or in our show notes, titanbattlegear.com/crazy hockey dads. Use the discount codes crazydads10 for 10% off your Titan Battle Gear.
Yes, and athletic performance insight for those coaches, managers, anyone listening that is preparing for next season, their upcoming hockey season, and are looking to integrate video review for your team. If you haven't done that yet already, forget Live Barn, forget trying to piece these clips together. Use Athletic Performance Insight API for your team next season. You'll be able to get all the under the hood analytics. You get game film, send it over to them. They break it down. Then you're going to have all different video clips that are ready to go, different, on ice scenarios, power play, penalty kill, look at individual stats, like goalie save, goalies, their saves, their goals allowed, goals, whatever. All of it's available. You can also hook up, 3 different video views. I don't think I say that enough, but you can add.
Yeah, you showed me that.
Center ice camera, which you get from wherever you get your center ice cameras.
And then one behind each net.
Then you can hang up a camera behind each net. So,
cool.
As you review all of the clips, whether it's a team performance or individual stuff, you can get behind the goal and center ice view. It's unbelievable. So use the contact form at athleticperformanceinsight.com. Reach out to Eric. He'll give you a demo, and then I'm sure he'll be happy to break down a game for free. And make sure to check him out for your video analytic needs.
Yep, $100 value. Then go put that toward a Pacific rink bag.
Yeah, mention Crazy Hockey Dads, get a 10% discount.
Yes. So speaking of traveling, so I was mentioning we're going to Notre Dame, or that's the plan. We're going to Notre Dame.
It's not finalized?
No, it's paid for. I'm pretty sure it's paid for. So it's like ready. So we're like looking for flights.
Yeah.
But then I don't know which parent or Mary was our team manager had the idea of renting a
Sprinter van?
Greyhound bus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
what the first thing that came to my mind is like I give that bus 1 hour, the smell on that bus is going to be terrible.
You think so?
Oh, with teenage boys just like farting.
She's going to be ripping it up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I suppose.
No?
I haven't been on a bus in a long time, buddy. I mean, when my buddy had his bachelor party out there. So we flew into Chicago, stayed at, I want to say, where did we stay in downtown? House of Blues, I want to say. Does that sound right? House of Blues in downtown Chicago?
I wasn't there.
And then we took a Greyhound bus out to Notre Dame for the Penn State Notre Dame football game.
Sick.
It was pretty sweet, not going to lie.
Yeah.
So, that was only a handful of hours on the bus. But this would be I'm going to guess like a 12-hour ride out from this area to
That's a long time.
To South Bend. So, and it would be for like 40 or 50 people. So like on one hand, I'm like, do I want to be on a bus for that many hours? But on the other hand, I'm like, it's probably fun, especially if you get along with the parents.
That's true.
It's probably not bad, to be totally honest. Like I'm actually kicking it around. Like it'd be a cool experience.
12 hours. It's long.
I know it.
That's
is.
the problem.
We would leave at like 6 a.m. on Thursday. We'd be there in the evening sometime.
But you have to make a few stops.
So it's a 10 if you waze it.
Yeah.
It's 10 hours and 57 minutes, like in the evening when there's no traffic. So it's probably all of 12 or 13 hours with stops and shit like that.
Yeah, it's long.
I mean, there's a bathroom.
I feel bad for the bus driver that you land.
That we hire?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, yeah, you're not wrong. But like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if all the parents and kids did it, probably would be pretty cool. Like that. I was not on board with it at first, but now I'm like, okay, listen. if you get along with the parents on your kid's team, it's probably fun. If you don't get along with them, probably you want to fly.
Yeah, but
right?
I mean, like, there's like, I would imagine that certainly let's time out for a second.
I'm listening.
Greyhound bus.
Yeah, or whatever bus.
You're gonna.
Like a
No, I get it, but I'm thinking about like how many total, not 100% of the people are going to use it probably.
It would be great if they all did.
Right.
That'd be tremendous.
So then you're looking at like, but then if there's like siblings that are also going, I'm just wondering like how quickly you're going to fill up a bus.
So funny you said that. I actually don't know how many seats there are. You know, I mean, I know it's like 2 on either side of the aisle. So you have 4 seats in an aisle and then going all the way back.
Yeah.
Or 4 seats in a row, then going all the way back. I'm assuming you probably have like 15-ish rows. Right, it's got to handle like 60-ish people. No,
I'm sure that's something that the internet knows.
Good.
Go ahead, look it up, Jimmy.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
My fingers aren't on the keyboard. Yours are.
You have a computer right in front of you. What's going on here, bro? What's going on here?
I mean, listen. Listen. I can't do 2 things at once. So you talk.
Neither can I.
How many people fit on a Greyhound? Right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And this is less complicated than a Google Calendar invite. So
shut the fuck up. So it says 47 to 55 people.
Yo, high five. Get it up there, dude. You did it.
So, all right.
Fucking proud of you,
again,
man.
so listen, would the whole family be able to go? Probably not, you know, but maybe they would actually, you know?
Either way, but you're not going to get 100%. And
I don't think so either. I don't think you're going to 100% either. And I guess the bus drivers need to take us back and forth to now the question is, I don't even know what hotel we'd be staying in South Bend. Like, is there, I guess you could always DoorDash food in, but like you can't go anywhere. Oh, you have to rent a car when you're there. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. I don't.
Turn off. Yo,
I
your
don't know what
ringer's
it is. It's like
annoying.
It's like a scam call.
Dude, just turn it off.
I have no idea. But yeah, so we may actually wind up doing that. So we'll see. We'll see if we actually wind up doing it. Can I tell you what the ball bust about this is? Is you can't fly directly into South Bend. Okay. There's no direct flights.
Okay.
So the only direct flights go in is to Midway and O'Hare.
Okay.
So, and they're not close to South Bend. So you have to rent a car and drive a ton. It's not like, you know, you get there and it's like 20, 30 minutes away. You have to drive a shitload. So it's annoying.
Okay. How long is the drive from an airport to South Bend?
I think it's a couple hours.
Okay.
You know,
oh shit.
You know, so it's
shit.
Oh shit. So it's 2 hours, dude. It's from Midway to Notre Dame is 2 hours. Okay. And then O'Hare. I mean, I think it's like an hour and a half. It's the same drive. They're both 2 hours. They're both hour and 55 minutes, hour and 50 minutes.
Wow.
So they're both 2 hours. So you're like screwed. You know, so it's great. You know, you sit on a plane for 2 hours out to Chicago, which is not bad. But then you have to drive, you know, so you actually fly over Notre Dame when you go to Chicago, and then you have to drive back east. It sucks. It's so annoying. You can't fly.
You've got real fucking problems, buddy. Listen, I mean, seriously.
I mean, everybody should have the problems. But my point is that it's annoying.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that. So hop on a bus.
Maybe. So I have something for you.
You do? Like literally a present?
I do.
No way.
Are you ready?
Oh no, this is not gonna. Is it?
Hold on, let me get it.
Okay, get it. Let's see. What could this possibly be?
I have something for you.
You know what I was expecting? I was expecting you to pull your middle finger out of your pocket.
I should have.
That's a total move that
so
I would do.
For you that listened to last episode,
what is it?
I have.
What's this? Oh wow!
So
wait, how the fuck
that
did you
listened
get this?
to last episode, about the with the Jones boys about the chicken, the
no way
fried chicken ice cream.
Wait, this is the fucking thing you waited in line for hours for?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Wait, what do you mean you're pretty sure?
For those of you, look. So it's sold in a bunch of retail places. I got this from where'd I get this from? I got this from a deli in Nutley.
Wait, you're telling me a deli in Nutley? Well, hold on. You're telling me a deli in Nutley has inventory of this, but the fucking Yankee Stadium?
No, Yankee Stadium had inventory. They just ran out of this shit.
With that no. If you have inventory, you don't run out of it.
Listen, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Like thousands of people were buying this shit.
I'm just saying. Last week. There's something suspect.
So, from what I understand,
wait. So I get to eat it now?
Yeah, man.
That's the idea. Man, chicken flavored ice cream.
So it's not chicken. It's It's not chicken flavored ice cream. It's just ice cream to look like a drumstick.
Let's see.
Like a piece of fried chicken.
Oh, wow.
So look. So here you go, everybody. That's what it looks like for those of you who are watching YouTube.
Wow. Now
do you see what I mean?
Listen, now I know why you can't keep these in store shelves. It looks like a fucking chicken nugget.
Oh, wow. This is legit.
It's legit. Wait, you didn't have one yet? This is your first time?
Bro, like I said on last episode, we made it to like 7 people away from the counter.
Oh, but you've been to. I was assuming you've
new,
had it before.
New for this year, buddy.
Oh. Oh my God. Holy fuck.
So
now I get it.
for you, who's the chef? I mean, so what's in there? It looks like a pretzel rod.
This is good.
Is that a pretzel rod in between?
Yeah, it's a pretzel rod. It's a chocolate covered pretzel rod right down the middle.
As a bone.
You know what I like? So it's got cornflake crunch on the outside.
Yep, talk to me.
That's a good call.
Talk to me, chef.
The initial bite, I got popped with a bit of salt, which I enjoyed a lot. It's followed by the sweetness of this creamy, delicious chicken leg, whatever the fuck I'm eating.
Tell me more. I'm getting caramel too, no?
Yeah, notes of caramel, no doubt.
Right? Mm-hmm. Now, do you like salty and sweet same time?
I do.
I normally don't.
No, but you like this.
It's all right. I can without the salt.
You know what?
Because I'm assuming the pretzel has salt on it.
The pretzel flavor is coming through,
right?
Which I like.
Is that where that's coming from?
But let me tell you something. Yeah, there's probably some salt on like the cornflakes or whatever that are on the outside. But let me tell you what I like right now. What I like is the textural difference. Like this, like obviously ice cream versus like all this crunchy stuff. There's a lot. It's very crunchy. There's a lot of crunch.
It is very
there,
crunchy, yes.
which is nice.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I can actually taste the pretzel. That's nice.
Like nothing's overpowering.
It's
not bad. It's pretty legit. I'm not gonna lie.
I would say this is definitely not about the ice cream itself.
So what is it about? Is it about the presentation of it?
Well, I mean, it's actually the despite all my comedy about eating this.
About busting my balls about it?
No. I mean, like it's
good, right?
It's the texture. It's definitely it's about the texture, the contrast and temperature. It's good.
Now I don't know who Life Raft makes it. Life Raft treats. It says eat quickly. Handcrafted in Charleston, South Carolina. Okay. Got it. So I'm guessing there's a couple companies that make this. This one happens to be Life Raft. Crafted in Charleston, South Carolina.
You know what? So
this is ice cream, not fried chicken. For those of you, here's the packaging. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, and for those of you who are listening, I'm just holding up to the camera here. Yeah, North Charleston, South Carolina.
So listen, when you first, I mean, obviously it's a novelty ice cream.
Did you read the ingredients? Look at it.
No.
Caramelized white chocolate, cornflakes, waffle ice cream. Don't know what that is, and chocolate pretzel bone.
That was a smart move. I like that. I like that like as an idea.
So you who made a donut shaped like a hot dog, you like what they did here?
I do.
Okay.
I think it's good. And what I also like is it's not like having ice cream that's got like a thin layer of something around the outside.
Right.
Like that the cornflake like exterior is like it's a very solid like coating. Like you're definitely like biting into something first and then you get the ice cream.
No, it's good. I mean, I got it at Velardo's Deli, Velardo's Italian Deli in Nutley. Really impressive deli, by the way.
Yeah.
Like really good deli. So they have, I bought 10 of them.
Well, listen.
The shit ain't cheap either. How many do you think 10 cost me?
How many did 10 cost you?
Yeah, and let me ask you, how many do you think 10 cost me? And then I wonder how many 10 cost at Yankee Stadium. But what do you think they cost me at Velardo's? Good deli, by the way, Nutley, New Jersey.
This cost you after tax
10 of them.
$65.30.
You were in the ballpark. Yes, it cost me like just under $60.
Under 60.
Yeah, you were right. Like 5-ish a piece, give or take.
I think they could get more than 5
at Yankee Stadium. I guarantee
$12.
They have to be so much.
And
more.
wait, it's like the same portion size at Yankee Stadium.
Oh yeah, they were small.
This is it.
The what you were busting my balls about last week. The chicken bucket was tiny. It was like this size with like a little handle, and the two drumsticks kind of sat inside. You only got 2.
Yeah.
So whatever the portion, it was 2 per portion size. So there's 2. I bet you they sold that thing for like $15, $16, $17.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that's my guess. I don't know because I didn't get up to the front of the line when they had them, but I was going to.
Like in all honesty, forget all the ball busting.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty.
You liked it?
That's a pretty good execution on their part.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm
but
assuming-
it's definitely not about the ice cream. Like I don't even like. Okay, waffle flavored ice cream. I'm sure it's just like they infused like the milk with like
some
waffle
ish type of syrupy stuff.
Well, no, not syrupy stuff. They probably
so what would they do?
look. What I would have done
With batter?
Well,
How would they do that?
you take waffle that's already been made,
Right.
and then you can just like
Liquefy it?
Then you can pour like milk or the ice cream mixture into it, blend it, and then strain
I
out
see
all
what
the
you're saying.
solids.
Oh, got it.
But
you like this, huh?
I definitely liked it.
Okay. Well, I have like 7 more. Dominic won last night. Dominic loves them. He wants to eat. He wanted like 4 of them yesterday. I'm like, dude, no.
I would love to give one to Otto.
I forgot to bring more.
I
will.
Oh, God.
I will. I only brought 2.
I
have more. I'll bring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought 10 of them. Dom ate one yesterday. He may have eaten 2. He may have eaten another one last night.
I will say this though.
So then maybe there's like 6 left.
So I'll say this as interesting and as well done as I think this is.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would wait 2 hours for it or whatever the fucking line was.
So now that I have had it,
Yeah.
I will not be waiting on the line of Yankee Stadium if
No.
they get them back.
No.
I'm good.
But what I would consider though
Yeah.
is if they came up with like if they had different flavor combinations, I would be interested in trying other ones because I think it was fun to eat.
It was fun to eat.
It was fun to eat.
I agree. It definitely was. It was cool. And it looks very realistic to a drumstick.
It
Like it
does.
looks like a piece of fried chicken. I mean, it looks like a small drumstick.
Yeah, no,
It looks like a buffalo wing.
They did a
right?
good job.
Like a fried.
Speaking of buffalo wings, you know what's so funny? I was watching the Buffalo Montreal game last night.
Oh my God, yeah.
And like at games when they have like they try to get the crowd pumped up and they have the noise meters.
Sure.
And like you go
Yeah,
louder
yeah.
and louder
Yeah.
and louder. So the camera angle had caught the jumbotron in the background.
Right.
And it was a chicken wing.
Okay.
And like how like on menus they have like the level of spiciness.
Oh,
and
yes,
it goes
the level
from like
of heat.
mild to
Yeah,
like
yeah. To,
extra
like,
hot,
ridiculous.
And as the
To, like,
crowd
you're gonna
got
die.
louder, like the chicken wing started getting
hotter?
like hotter. Like you know what I mean? It was
yeah.
it was. I was like, that is hysterical.
So do you like heat?
I do.
You do.
I
Oh,
do,
that's right.
but
We talked about this.
I
off
like
air,
heat.
you and I.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
I have my limits though. I'm not like
Like a
I'm
ghost pepper guy.
No, I don't I don't like dabble in like the world of extreme heat.
Right, I
Like,
don't
I'm
either,
not
for
like
the most
one of
part.
those like packy like
I'm
one
not
chip
either.
challenge guys. Like not even a little bit.
Right.
And then even when we get to like authentic like Thai food and even some like South American food
Okay.
or Indian food for that matter,
Right.
like I don't get it. If I start
You're not down with that.
if I start to focus more on how hot it is than what it actually tastes like,
Understood.
then that's where I'm kind of like, this isn't for me anymore.
Right. Understood. So you would not go on that Hot Ones show?
I don't think I've seen the Hot
Oh, you
Ones
don't know
show.
Hot Ones?
No.
Oh my God. It's they put like a bunch of wings in front of them.
Yeah.
Let's just call it 8 of them or 10
Yeah.
of them. And each wing has a different heat level on it. And it goes from 1 to 10 or 1 to 8, whatever the number is. But it gets from mild
Yeah.
or nothing to like
I would do it.
you're going to die.
I would listen. I would do it because
Yeah.
there's a progression.
I would too,
and
just
I would,
to see how I did.
But I'm not interested in like that
Yeah.
like one chip challenge. Like you.
I don't like that shit
Like,
either.
but I've watched videos.
Shaq-
it's quite
Shaq-
funny. I know. I
Shaq
saw
ate
Shaq.
that.
I
Shaq
know.
almost died.
And then he was like, coughed, and then he was like, no, I didn't.
He's like,
like,
I'm fine. Charles Barkley's like, yeah, sure.
Yo, there's some people that are immune to that shit.
I'm
Like,
not.
I've seen
I'm not.
someone
I like
eat,
heat,
like-
but I'm not immune to that stuff.
You're not. No, neither am I. But
know,
some people
no.
are, and I've seen people eat like one like Pocky, another Pocky, and
Dude.
if anyone hasn't seen this like Pocky one chip challenge, I don't think they
It's
do
just
it
a
anymore.
bag with one chip in it,
with
right?
one chip in it.
Yeah,
But like I
that's
think
fucking
someone
ridiculous,
actually
by the way.
passed away from like
Stop it.
I swear to God,
Like they had like a heart attack or something?
there was something that like
It just didn't work with their something? Is that right? Somebody died from that?
I think so.
Jesus. That's scary. I must say, like, if
Here,
you
look. So on September 23rd, a 14-year-old died from cardiopulmonary arrest following the consumption of a Pocky one chip challenge
what
tortilla
did it do
chip.
to his insides that he died from it?
Which contained high levels of capsaicin. Capsaicin is like the compound that like produces the heat. And
Thanks,
like
Doc.
peppers. Oh, okay. So not everyone knows what capsaicin is.
I don't know what it is. That's
Okay,
what I'm
well,
saying.
telling-
Thanks, Doc.
and do you know the unit of measure to measure the heat
The
from the
Scoville
capsaicin?
scale?
You know Scovilles. Wow. Fucking doctor over here. Fucking Dr. Treby. Wow.
Don't ask why I know, like, the measures of heat.
I had a long conversation with shout out Jeff Held. I'm sure he's not listening, but
I remember Jeff Held. Didn't we go to high school? You went to high school?
No. He's someone I met like years
Why do I know
later
that
in the
name?
kitchen.
Oh, me. Oh, okay. Then I don't know my life.
So, but here's the thing: an autopsy revealed the teen had a pre-existing congenital heart defect
okay.
with a high concentration of spice triggering the fatal event.
Okay,
so it wasn't
his makeup did not sit well with what he ate.
No.
Okay, got it.
No, to say the least.
That's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, I don't mind heat though. I must say, it's funny we're talking about like wings.
So why don't we do that?
You want to do? You want
me
to
and you? Let's see who's got more like bigger cojones.
Okay. How do we do it? We just have to go buy like different levels of heat.
No, we'll just go to. We'll have to like video something, me and you, on location at like a wing spot, and then we'll just do a progression.
Is there a wing spot that has all these different levels of heat?
We'll find one.
Okay,
it's not.
We should actually reach out to the hot ones guys.
I did
be
this.
Like we want to come on your fucking show.
Sure, do it.
Do you know who crushed it on that? By the way,
who?
Fucking Gary V, dude.
Did he?
He crushed it.
You know,
it's almost like he was like immune to it. Like I've seen people like big time athletes that are fucking chugging water and milk.
Yeah.
Even Gordon Ramsay had a hard time. He's a fucking chef. Gary V fucking
nailed it,
dude. It was go watch Gary V's Hot Ones interview. Fucking killed it.
That's amazing,
dude. I don't know how he did it, but if we could, that'd be cool. I would do that with you. That would be fun.
All right,
I'm down for something like that.
Set it up.
I don't even know where to do that. We're gonna have to look for that.
Okay,
we'll have our producer. We'll have our producer go look for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We'll get on that.
Yeah, we definitely will. No, that's a cool idea though.
All right,
we'll fire that up.
Hockey.
Dom was at a 3-on-3 last night.
How'd you do?
Good actually. You know why he did well? Because there's no pressure. No pressure, no like expectations, no nothing.
Yeah.
I was watching. I didn't say boo, you know?
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. So but he actually performed very well.
That's awesome.
Which was kind of cool. It's a 3-on-3 team that a big makeup of the team are his teammates from his club team.
Okay.
So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, and the goalies. There was 5 of them.
Wait, are they in a league or they just did like a one-off?
They're in a league, and Dom, I did not like I've said many times in this podcast, I don't do like spring teams. You know what I mean? But they needed people last night, so they're like, does Dominic want to play?
Yeah,
Stacy asked me if Dom wants to play.
Oh, really? Shout out Stacy.
Shout out Stace.
And
Shout
Larry.
out Stace and Larry. I had a beer with Larry last night.
Oh, yeah?
Good dude.
Yeah, tell him I said what's up.
Yeah. Dom and Alex, our goalie, went to the 3-on-3 last night.
Oh,
and
nice.
After it, they went to a carnival.
Oh, that's awesome.
Carnival, like Hillsdale. So Larry and I dropped them off and went and had a beer.
Oh, sick.
It was good.
Nice.
It was cool. Yeah. But so our team, a lot of our team is, which is a little strange because there's kids that are on this spring team that got cut from our club team.
Was that a weird dynamic?
So I'm sure I was there just for the first time last night. I didn't see these two parents, but I don't think so. I like these two parents, so I wouldn't have an issue with it whatsoever. They may not want to come. I don't know what the story is there.
Right.
You know, they may not want to show up because they feel a little awkward, which they shouldn't. You know, and I actually would have loved to have seen these two parents too. You know, but so it was a majority of our club team jumped on this 3-on-3 spring team. Normally they have like 3 lines of 3.
Yeah.
Right.
So what did they roll with last night?
They were short, so it was just 2 lines of 3.
Oh, that's great. Every other shift.
Oh, it was
perfect.
It was fantastic.
That's perfect.
And our goalies. There were 4 forwards from our club team and our goalie, and then a couple other kids kind of sprinkled in there. It was cool.
That's great.
Yeah, it's funny too because so Dom played with a guy who he plays with.
Wait, so the 3v3 is one of those 3 is the goalie, so it's 2v2.
No.
The goalie?
No. It's 3v3 and then goalies.
Right. And so you had 2 lines of 2. You said.
No, we had 2 lines of 3.
2 lines of 3.
2 lines of 3.
Kids,
there were six skaters and a goalie.
Yeah, got you.
And the other team didn't have a goalie, so the kids were shooting on a shooter tutor for
that
the first.
Sucks. Why didn't your other goalie go? Oh, you didn't have 2 goalies there. You just had 1 goalie.
Just had 1 goalie, yeah.
But
another goalie did show up, so he jumped in net, and he was good. So it worked out perfectly. But it was funny because so it was Dom and another kid that actually plays on who's he going to play with for the season,
right? And
then the other 2 kids are going to play together for the season. I'm pretty sure, because they're good buddies off the ice. So it was funny, like you watch these 4 kids play, and it was good. It looked good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. So no expectations, just no structure.
Yeah,
just go have fun, do your thing. It was cool to watch.
Sick.
It's cool. I think that kids, when they don't have pressure on them, they look different on the ice.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's also
right.
I'm not. Yeah. That's definitely part of it. Like it's like playing pickup, right? And then you're also like,
correct.
You can. What am I trying to say? Take chances
You
that
can
you
be
maybe
creative.
Right. And the
Yes.
consequences are less, and like there's no coach that's like breathing down your throat if you fuck something up, and all that stuff.
Unfortunately, I think the creativity gets coached out of a lot of our players these days. I think that kids are a lot of kids, a lot of coach. I want to say a lot of coaches are trying to put kids in a box and kind of coach the creativity out of them. And
So
I think that's a problem.
That's an interesting thing, because on one hand, like kids need to start learning. Like I think. I don't think creativity should be coached out, but I think you also there needs to be times
Structure.
and places to be creative. Like if you have a kid that goes on the ice every shift is trying to do something that's like very individual and very like maybe
Agreed.
like for example, like a kid that's going to try to pull a Michigan every time is behind the net, like
Right.
that
Gets to be a little much.
more than a
Yes.
that's not
Agreed.
the right way to play the game,
Agreed.
quote unquote right way.
Yes,
Right.
you can be creative in a lot of other ways, passing or like whatever it is, weaving
Right.
with your teammates. You can be creative in a bunch of different ways.
Right. So there's like an art to like coaching creativity.
I think that's true.
I agree.
As opposed to just putting in a box and saying,
Right, like
just
like,
do X
just
instead of
right, whatever the system is, like just be a robot, do this every time. Like there needs to
Correct.
be, but I think at certain points along the way, like nothing's a perfect like a straight line.
Agreed.
But there needs to be times where it's like, guys, listen, this is what I need from you. You guys need to get good at this. Once we get good at it, then
you can start being creative.
Then start doing this.
Agreed.
So you have to put guardrails around all of
think
it,
so.
just so they learn like good foundations.
No question about it. I don't think that the creativity. I don't think kids should be penalized for being creative.
Right.
When they do. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but I think
I don't know, man. I mean, like, let's just say you have like you're a 2-on-1, and then
Right.
someone decides to like pull some. When the right play would have been to pass or to create movement, at least with like the goalie and the defenseman,
right.
And the kid just decides to do like treat it as a 1v1, lose the puck. I think there's times where you can tell a kid to have a seat for sure if you're trying to do stuff that's like
yes. Well, I guess would that be considered being creative, or would that be considered like
But that's where it's like in certain circumstances it's
guess
being
it's a
creative.
gray area
in other
too.
circumstances, like you got to know when to apply
No,
it, and
it's
that's
true.
where the art of the coaching comes in.
Yeah, fair. I think early on in our when we started this podcast, I think I told a story. I'll tell it again just in case people haven't heard it. I read a study years ago about soccer.
You read studies?
I read a study about like soccer.
Really?
Yeah. And it was, and basically what it said is that, for soccer players coming up.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of kids that like in the UK or where it is that grow up in these academies from a very young age.
Yep.
Super structured, very like regimented, right? And then you have kids that come up in like the favelas of Brazil.
Like South
where
America, right?
They're just playing in like on a dirt, field. Just there's no structure. They're just being creative out there with their buddies, just kicking the ball off the wall, whatever they're doing, right? And it was shown that the better players, not all, but it was shown that over time the better players are the ones that did not grow up in an academy style structured, super structured. The better players were the kids that were more creative, that grew up in an unstructured, just kind of playing to have fun. So it was an interesting study. It was with soccer, but I would think that would apply to all sports. Right?
Yeah, I see that. But
they're super structured these days.
That got me thinking about how certainly when you get to like upper levels, when you start having roles on the team, like you're going to get kids
Sure.
out of like a more structured environment that are going to be better suited for certain roles, while kids that grew up in a less structured environment, like
That's probably true.
I guess,
there's probably a good point for each side of that.
but I think like if you're always in an environment from a young age that lacks the freedom to be creative, I don't think that's just as every year goes by, it's harder and harder to develop those skills.
Right.
Whereas if you grow up in like a pickup environment where you're always able to be creative,
Right.
once you get into the levels or the a coach, you have a coach that is system oriented and it's time to learn that stuff.
Right.
Like it's probably easier to put like the creativity in a box. And, you know what I'm trying to say? It's probably I would think easier to kind of put that away and learn systematic play, and then rely on your creativity when you need it, versus someone that never even developed that muscle.
Fair,
Right?
fair.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, listen. I'm not saying that kids don't make it from each side of that coin.
I know.
Right?
No, of course.
But I thought it was an interesting study about like killing creativity. I forgot what it was called.
And I bet the kids that, also we talked about fun and love for the game.
100%.
Like, which one sounds more fun when you're at the younger ages?
Clearly,
the one where you can be creative and
and you're just hanging out with your buddies and
100%,
just doing whatever you need to do,
as opposed to being over coached and over professionalized.
Yeah. Well, we've talked
youth.
about that a couple times. The professionalization of youth sports. Talked about it a couple times. And so Dom was in at 3. It was fun. It was he had it through the legs a couple times. That went up into like the top corner. It was good. It was fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, speaking of youth hockey and someone who's making a splash. No pun intended.
Well said by you. That was very well done by you.
No pun intended.
Well done. And normally splash comes from waves.
Waves, water, surf. That's right.
Got it.
Yeah. So in any event, we have our guest today.
Yes.
Is someone who's seen hockey from basically every angle possible. I mean, literally. And for those of you who are not familiar with Larry Robbins, he spent decades coaching, building programs, developing elite players, and raising hockey kids of his own. He has spent a lot of time with the North Jersey Avalanche. He was owner of Chicago Steel. Now he's building hockey in Florida. He's been around some of the top players, elite players in today's game. He mentioned Celebrini, Fantilli.
The Hutson boys.
The Hutson boys, no doubt.
Powers.
Like the list goes on.
Fantilli. Fantilli. Yeah. Coronado. Coronado.
Yep.
I mean, he was dropping some very cool names.
Yeah. So in any event, so Larry Robbins has Longwood Academy down in Florida, which he just started a hockey academy. He's started AAA charter down there, the Florida Surf.
Yeah.
I think they're on
they're
their
cranking
second.
Down there,
they're
man.
cranking.
Yeah,
but
that thing's exploding.
But I mean, this guy comes from like years of dedication here in North Jersey. Just an unbelievable individual, unbelievably generous. I'll never forget when I started coaching.
Very philanthropic.
Very philanthropic, and he just does it for like his passion for the game.
Loves it,
and how much
his story was pretty cool.
The game like teaches kids how to be adults when they get older, and he's raised like 7 boys now.
A lot of kids.
Some are older, some are much younger. But I'll never forget. So this guy's got plenty on his plate. I mean,
oh my God, that's putting it mildly. Like super mildly.
But back like I don't know, must have been 20.
Owns a whole nother company on the side. I mean, this is like it's just his passion.
These are his passion.
He has like a real job.
Yeah. But I'll never forget talking about someone who's just like dedicated to giving to the community. When Otto was with the Avalanche, and I started coaching there.
Right.
I hadn't coached before, and I just we were going over to his rink at his house called Longwood, which is unbelievable.
Which we were invited to for a very cool
charity event.
A very cool
up.
charity event.
We'll share more
summer.
about that. Yeah.
Yes, we will. We're definitely doing that.
But 100%. But I remember, I was just talking with him, and he invited me.
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
But no, he invited me over to his place.
Yeah.
And we went over. We're at the rink, and he's got this amazing setup, like above the rink, where it's got like, you can have like there's a bar and like whatever, and we're sitting up there, and we're just we're talking shop, and he took time out of his busy schedule for me, who like barely knows him at that point, and just like we sat down and we talked hockey, and we talked teaching young kids, and he talked about his experiences coaching, and like things that worked well for him, things that didn't. So just an unbelievably generous person, salt of the earth guy, and couldn't have been happier to have him on the pod.
It was great. It was we could have talked to him for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like easily. Yeah. And not even scratch the surface of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so good. I mean, it was getting late too when we actually got off with him.
Yeah.
Like I said, we literally could have gone for like another 5 hours.
It was a great conversation.
Yes.
And looking forward to sharing it with all of you.
Yes. You guys are going to love this interview.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any
there's
more
not
words
much
to say.
Not much more to say other than enjoy the interview.
Kick it over to Larry Robbins, everyone.
Here we go.
All right, everybody, welcome to our next interview. And tonight's guest has seen youth hockey from just about every angle imaginable. Coach, mentor, hockey dad for sure, and one of the guys behind some seriously successful development programs, North Jersey Avalanche, Chicago Steel, and now the Florida Surf, the Longwood Hockey Academy. Larry Robbins, a pleasure to have you on the pod tonight.
Scott, Jamie, thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to chat tonight.
Oh, 100%. So one of the things we always like to kick things off with is just kind of setting the table and letting our audience know what you're up to now, and then a little bit would love just to hear about like your journey as a youth athlete, and we'll take it from there.
Sure. So I'll go out of order. I'll start with my journey as a youth athlete because it's the
Sure.
simplest thing. I grew up as a bad hockey player. I like most kids, I got dragged to the ice rink because my sister was a figure skater. She was a few years older than me back then. Now she's younger, but back then she was a couple years older than me. And so I went to the ice rink and decided I wanted to skate, and then played house league at age 6, and then my dad was working, and my dad thought, it might be a good idea for me to go to the tryout clinic, knowing that I wasn't going to make the team for the travel team. And but it'd be a good experience and stuff. And, no cell phones back then. So, my mom calls my dad, on the payphone and says, hey, Shell, Larry made the team. I'm buying him a jacket. I'll talk to you later. Bye. And my dad didn't even want me playing travel hockey for all the reasons why parents who aren't hockey parents kind of get scared of it. And my mite's 7-year-old year, the coaches thought that it would be a good idea that we play in 2 leagues. And we played 87 games my first year.
What?
So
Wow.
yeah, so like it was not like there was no glide path. It was not a
Wow.
gentle easing into youth hockey. So I played hockey in Glenview, Illinois, for a team humbly called the Glenview All Stars, which I guess meant like the 14 families that were silly enough to play hockey. And AAA hockey, I'm a dinosaur, but AAA hockey didn't kind of exist back then, or it was just getting started. But I was never a AAA caliber player. I played for Glenview. I played for Franklin Park and Schaumburg and a couple other organizations, bounced around. The highest level I played was AA, but I was mostly like a single A player. And but I just always loved it. It was always passion. Loved it. My high school started a team for my junior and senior year. I got to play high school hockey and kind of be one of the cool people in high school because I played football and was a backup, but in hockey, I actually knew what I was doing. And then I always figured my future was from my neck up. And so I went to University of Pennsylvania for school, not even knowing that they had a club hockey team. And they used to have a Division I team when Title IX happened to make an equal number of men and women's sports. Unfortunately, Penn did what many schools did. Instead of opening up opportunities for women, they canceled opportunities for men. And so they had a beautiful rink, 6,000 people it held, and they turned a Division I program into a club team. And that was pretty sad for, I
Wow.
guess, the people that were involved. It was great for me. I never would have been good enough to play D1. So I got to play intercollegiate club, went to Penn for 5 years, got a couple of degrees, was able to play all 5 years. And, 30-game schedule, club hockey, and it was a way to keep me connected with the sport. So, out of that 6,000 seats, I think we had about 5 or 6 fans. So it was pretty echoey building we played at the University of Pennsylvania. But again, some of my best friends are some of my hockey teammates from Penn. And then I took 13 years to get out of shape and earn a living and go to New York and do that whole finance thing. And then when my oldest was 6 years old, he unfortunately I made one mistake. He's a goalie. I didn't know how bad being a goalie dad was. I accidentally bought him the pads because he was fascinated with the pads, and yeah, 21 years
The
later,
rest is history,
I still
right?
regret that part. So, um, so I started assistant coaching, opening doors, and then kind of got into it. Started playing men's league again over at the Ice House where Scott, you and I met each other in Hackensack, New
Yep.
Jersey, and kind of got reconnected to the game. And what I would say is, my older 4 boys are now between ages of 22 and 27. We're hockey guys, so they're 99, 00, 103. And looking back on it, what an absolute cheat code as a father to become teammates with your kids through the hockey journey. And whether you are a fan, which I'm a fan of my kids, whether I got lucky enough to be a coach or whether I was just a dad, that journey together, feeling like that I could advise them about off-ice issues or character issues or interpersonal issues or how to deal with failure, and make sure that if there's an obstacle in their way, that they're not going to turn around and run away from it, but they're going to find a way over it, and how to ask for help and how to be a good teammate, and all those things that team sports give you, and hockey in particular gives you. Man, what a gift it was for me and my 4 older boys to go on that journey together. And so I ended up, throwing myself into coaching, volunteer. I still run a hedge fund or a financial business, but always had a passion for coaching. And, again, having, 4 kids in 5 years, kind of wanted to try to stay one step ahead of them. So I was never the head coach of my goalie, my older son Justin's teams. I did not want the pressure of deciding who was going to play starting
Mm.
goalie. It wouldn't have been fair to the other goalie or the other parents, and it wouldn't have been fair to me if it wasn't Justin's turn. Like, that makes it a long ride home. So, so that was Justin was the only one who I wasn't the head coach for. But, starting at 12 years old with Adam in the 2000 group, I became the head coach of that team for 3 years, and then dropped down to the O1s, and then dropped down to the O3s. And, got to learn from some unbelievable coaches at the New Jersey Avalanche. And, the hockey
Yeah.
community is so cool. People are there to help. They said we all complain about these stupid USA Hockey modules where we got to sit there in class or take the online test. But when I was a new coach, like, being able to hear from the USA Hockey development guys about, here's some small ice games to run to practice, and here's ways to make it more fun for young kids. And like, it actually was super useful. And like, I'm super grateful
Yeah.
to the USA Hockey guys for doing that. And, I'm a sponge. I like to learn. And so, whether it was learning from, Jimmy Cahill and Mark Latito and Vinny Smith, who were the kind of the more experienced coaches at the Avs, who were all unbelievable coaches and continue to do great things in youth hockey, or learning from Dan May, who ran the program, about just how to manage people and manage youth hockey logistics, et cetera. So that kind of continued the journey, and the Avalanche got pretty good. Like, they were, when Dan May, who runs the program, when he was head coach of the midget team, they were pretty good. They always went to nationals. Then there's a lot of years where they weren't, and they invested in some coaching, and we had a cheat code because, Scott, as you know, I got so into hockey that in my backyard in Cresskill, New Jersey, I built a 2/3 size ice rink that we call Longwood, for the Longwood beams that go overhead. And it's kind of a field of dreams. And I joke around that the best coach I ever met was open ice. And, the kids in Toronto and the kids in Minnesota and the kids in Michigan are also good because they can just go out into the pond or the backyard or whatever and just skate. And
Yeah.
we don't have that luxury. You have an outdoor rink in New Jersey, it rains, you lose the ice for 5 days.
Yeah.
Right.
So I did that
Right.
on my tennis court when I bought a place in Jersey in '06, learned that lesson, then I put a bubble on top of it. My neighbors didn't really like that when my 8-year-old goalie also happened to have a cannon of a slap shot, so Justin would take slap shots against the glass and sound like somebody was hunting. And so, my wife, Sarah May, is an unbelievable architect, and so she hand drew and then built the facility called Longwood, that became kind of the home of hockey players in New Jersey for about 15 years. And
It's
whether it was
unreal.
hosting your son and my little guys for, their 4 or 5 or 6-year-old skates and just pushing a puck and letting them have fun, or whether it was, serving as a training facility for some of those, unbelievable Avalanche teams that went to nationals every year and produced some unreal players. It was just kind of a field of dreams. And so, between the coaching, the players that were there, and then we started out building 2 kids in the 99 group because we were 2 sticks away from having a competitive team for my son. And given the fact that he was a goalie, we wanted to have an ability to compete in front of him and stuff.
Mhm.
And, all the way up to the COVID year when we had 18 billets, which was probably a bad idea, but
Wow.
we were the only game in town. And so, we had quite a number of people skating at our rink, and that's the year the Avs won nationals at the 16U level. The extra development they were able to get, and the culture, like the kids could surround themselves by other kids that were unreal and work hard, and then like the big brother relationship, not just my family in terms of, I got remarried almost 14 years ago. Sarah May and I have 3 children together, aged 10, 7, and 4, Xander, Calvin, and Della. They're all playing hockey now. And not only having like the actual brothers and the billet brothers that they could look up to and see how hard they worked or whatever, but just that that informal relationship where, they would mentor your kids or our kids, and a
Sure.
14-year-old who knows how to play hockey gets on the ice with a 5-year-old. They think that they're on with an NHL player. The kids are so good.
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely.
They want to get an autograph from a 14-year-old. And so
Yeah.
that just kind of family atmosphere, the ability to pay it forward and pass it down, like it was pretty incredible. That Longwood facility, like, we host hockey in Harlem there every year. It comes practice 4 or 8 times before they get their own ice. We've done stuff with the sled rangers, where the sled hockey kids, who are probably the bravest athletes I've seen, and unbelievable athletes. We've had them come out and play against our Avalanche team. We try to get in those sleds, and it's real humbling when you got
Oh, wow.
as a
I can imagine.
you got a kid who's an absolute D1 stud who's in the state,
Yeah.
who absolutely looks like he's never played hockey before.
Yeah.
Totally different approach. And so,
Right.
just like those experiences to connect our hockey community together, that Longwood facility was an almost religious place for us in terms of
Yeah.
the religion of hockey for those of us that are dedicated to it. And so I got to do that journey, and then wanting to stay one step ahead of my kids. I heard that everybody goes out to the USHL before they go to college. And, I had dreamed someday of being an NHL owner, but the prices of franchises outran my own, resources to do that. And so I said, you know what, I could always own a junior hockey team. Those aren't that expensive. And I took a money losing Chicago Steel franchise and managed to double the losses because I'm not a very good businessman. But we had an interesting run for 8 years. I bought them in 2015 and sold them to the Chicago Blackhawks in 2023. And again, as an education lab, and the ability to, now that I've learned everything I could learn from the youth hockey guys, to be able to learn about that development path for kids, high level players before college, before pros. And, everything that we thought in terms of creating a team and family, a culture, a growth mindset, true commitment. We decided we would take it to Chicago. Had missed the playoffs for 7 straight years. If you know anything about the USHL, 2/3 of the team make the playoffs. It's really hard. Like it's like
Yeah.
flipping a coin and having it come up tails 7 times in a row. Like, it's hard to do. You got to really work at it to miss the playoffs that much. Everybody told me, don't buy Chicago. It's the worst franchise in the league. I was like, well, at least I can't hurt it, right? Like, you can only sideways. But like the ability to have my kids, maybe someday then play in the town that I grew up in Chicago, in the suburbs, I thought was kind of cool. But then, it ended up being an unbelievable journey. And instead of learning from just the best youth hockey guys I could find, I was learning from Dan Muse, who's now coaching the Penguins and is up with the Jack Adams Award in his first year. And I was learning from Ryan Hardy, who's this, put together that legendary 01 NTDP team that had so many great players on it, and now he's assistant general manager of the Maple Leafs, and he's done a great job with their with their Marlies organization. It's not his fault, the NHL one, but he's done a great job with their organization. Or like, how do you teach a defenseman how to defend in a modern way? And Brock Sheehan was our coach. Now he's head coach at Notre Dame, and like probably the best defenseman coach I've ever seen. And just watching how he teaches people how to defend, and like, again, I got to get a master's in hockey from just being around those guys. And then the trust and the trust and faith that so many families showed in us and sending their kids. I mean, the Fantilli family, Adam Fantilli, who went number 3 in the draft, Owen Powers, who went number 1 and is playing a playoff game tonight with Buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah.
And of course, Macklin Celebrini came out, and all those guys obviously could have been number 1 in the in the OHL draft or whatever Canadian Major Junior draft they were eligible for. And parents wanted them to go to college, and they wanted them to be in a development environment, and they all took a chance on on me and us and our culture, that we were really just kind of committed to developing those kids. And wow, that Steel group was incredible, because same thing happened with the Avalanche. You put a bunch of great kids around, you put a bunch of great coaches around, and you just let them focus on just hockey and being good people, and you hold a high character standard. And like that group ended up being so prolific, not only in terms of what they did in junior and college, but like, what they're doing now at the pro level. So just really, really grateful that I could be on this journey as a passenger. I could be on this journey as a learner, and then hopefully people would say that I've been a little bit on the journey as a contributor. And so I guess I don't know how to do something halfway.
It's not a bad trait to have.
Yeah, one of my phrases we have in our Florida Surf organization is we fully commit. And
Yep.
there's a difference between committing and fully committing. I've been supporting the KIPP charter schools in New York City for 25 years, and they have a sign in their high school that says "I fully commit," and it's got a bunch of things. And we take our players there, our Avalanche players there, every year to volunteer, help clean the school before the kids come. But also to look at that "I fully commit" statement and be like, what's the difference? And you got to find extra, like you got to be all in. And I've taken that to heart, and kind of everything I've done hockey wise. Which leads me to now what I'm doing now. So my Sarah May and I moved to beautiful Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, almost 2 years ago, August of 24. And the only thing that was keeping us from going down to Florida, in addition to my aversion to humidity, was the fact that I wasn't for Xander and Calvin and Della. I wasn't going to be able to have the same hockey journey, not in terms of the achievement. My older boys were fortunate enough to work hard, and they played Division I hockey, and they're playing pro now. It's not about the achievement or the level, just like the friendships, the character development, the experiences, the grit, the determination, all those things. And so we decided that we literally picked Palm Beach Gardens, Florida to live because they had a permit ready, shovel ready permit to build a 2-sheet ice facility here. And then I was able to rent a single sheet for a while until we got into a new building and take over a tier 2 program called the Palm Beach Breakers, and kind of went hired some fancy lawyers to get past all the red tape in Florida, and we got our AAA charter, even though for 20 years people tried that and failed. But when a New York hedge fund guy with a unlimited passion and a healthy willingness to invest, finds a series of rules, we find some ways to get it done.
You fully commit.
Yeah, but also
That's right.
I think the commitment we showed in Chicago and in New Jersey, I think the powers that be knew that we were going to take this seriously and that we were going to honor the ideals of the sport in a positive way. And even the organizations that I don't think were that excited to see us now, we've had a handout in partnership, and we really, really do hope to build something that's special for everybody. And we're in competition, but we're in cooperation. We're trying to do that, and so thrilled. Now in Florida, we got our AAA charter, the Florida Surf. I launched that program a year ago. Super successful last year. 3 teams in the top 20 in the country in our 9U, 10U, 11U, and so and then the other 3 teams also competed much better than people thought they were going to. And then those kids improved a lot, and we've added some kids in the roster. So I think in a 2-year period, people will understand that we built a 9U through 15U program. That's a real program. And then the Tampa Bay Lightning got a AAA charter now, and the Panthers got a AAA charter now. So maybe we can actually have a local game. We can drive someplace instead of flying someplace. So
That's right.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind tour. Building the 2-sheet facility. It's open at the end of the year. We'll be hosting teams from out of state in January there.
My goodness.
And launching 14 teams, including our tier 2 teams. We're doing the last night of tryouts tonight, literally. And then we, so we say together we build. And so that's been the journey. Everybody says, are you enjoying the Florida lifestyle? Is it more relaxing? I've never been busier. I've never been more exhausted.
I was just going to say. Right.
That's
My
unreal.
goodness.
Yeah, that's
So,
why the viewers don't know, but that's why I told you I could do it at 9:20 tonight. That was my first availability, was after
That's right. That's true.
after I coach my 28 teams, my 26 teams, and evaluate our 14 UAA team.
Oh my Lord.
That's unbelievable. So Longwood was when you were in Jersey with Longwood, was it one of the first, I want to say, like academies, Larry? Does
That would be an
right?
overstatement of the formality of it. So what we did is, again, when there's the first thing you got to have is you got to have a commitment to development, and you got to have a commitment to invest. And so many of the great programs, I mean, you look around the country and there's some programs that just absolutely, you see the brand and you know that people are going to have a good experience, right? There's I don't want to leave anybody out. We all know that you go up to the AHF League in Boston and there's just some franchises up there, and you go out to the, what used to be the High Performance League in the Midwest, and there's so many great franchises out there. And so And and so you see, what the Pittsburgh Penguins elite has done, and you see what, Little Caesars has done, and you see what, Bay State and the Terriers and the Boston Eagles, whatever. And it's like,
Yep.
it starts with development, right? Like they obviously are attracting coaches and they're developing their players. And then at some point in time, it also has to be, well, in order for those kids to continue to develop, you need to be able to connect kids who are also as passionate and as talented. And so, given the density of AAA hockey that's up there, right? If we wanted to get to that next level, we said, oh, gee, if a kid lives 2 hours away, the parents would really like to play with us, but you're not going to go back and forth 2 hours in a car every
Right.
day through Northeast traffic or whatever. And so when Justin was a 16U player, the Avalanche coaches asked if we would consider billeting two kids, and Jordan Seifert and Tyler Gratton, and then Tyler's
Wow.
older brother as well, who was on the 18 team, and Chris Gratton. And so we literally said, all right. And so I couldn't be a full-time billet dad because I had children of my own and some business interests and stuff, etc. But we said, all right, well, we got this great Longwood facility. They can come, they can live there, they can skate and train during the day. And so it started out, we hired a guy named David Ardoin, who's now running Bishop Kearney's program up there, hockey program up there. We hired David to be our billet dad, trainer, rink guy. And so he lived with Tyler and his brother and Jordy, and that's how it started the first year, and it was very successful. And those kids, because they got twice as much ice, and they were
Sure.
able to
Right.
do dry land, and they were doing an online school, but their parents arranged the school, and
Got it.
David Ardoin would proctor it, but like he wasn't an educator; he was just a responsible adult to make sure the kids were staying on task and on time.
Right.
And then the next year we said, well, gee, that worked out pretty well. Maybe there's stuff that we can do to help the 18U team and the 16U team. And again, it's got to be mostly local kids, but can you add one or two or three kids or whatever on each team? And so the program grew, and it grew pretty substantially. And so while it was never a formal academy in that we weren't running a school,
Right.
so it wasn't like South Kent, it wasn't like Carmel, it wasn't like BK, or certainly not like Shattuck. What
Right.
it was people who were homeschooling their children. Instead of homeschooling them at home, they would basically functionally homeschool them, but they would live at a house and at our place. And so we ended up purchasing a home right next to the backyard rink. That the people thought that they sold it to us. They thought it was a tear down and that they didn't want to live next to an ice rink, even though the ice rink looks pretty nice. You wouldn't know it's an ice rink outside of it.
Yeah, it does.
And so we ended up doing that. And then the program kept growing and growing as my older boys covered more teams. And ironically, the best, most accomplished team I coached as a youth team was my 2001 15U team. We were number one in the country going into nationals. And that team had no billets. So like we was all local
Huh.
kids. We had no billets.
Oh, wow.
And so it was funny, like all the teams that
All local.
teams that my kids played on when they were playing with other head coaches had a lot of billets, and I understood that and I appreciated that. Either nobody would send their kid just to play for me, or or I kind of more believed in the organic model, and so we kind of took a series of local kids and we just trained them, and they became the number one team in the country. And unfortunately, Pittsburgh got us in the quarterfinals there or whatever, so we didn't have a party. But that group was special. Alex Laferriere, who's now playing for the LA Kings,
Yeah, sure.
was part of that group. A number of kids went on to play Division One, but just a really, really great group of young men to do that. So you don't need to bring in kids from other places. At the same point in time, by the time we got to COVID year, where Canada was shut down or whatever, I mean, we had Quentin Musty and Nick Moldenhauer and Mick Thompson came from Buffalo in Canada to live in New Jersey to play hockey. And like, if
Wow.
you'd have told me, a few years before that someone's going to leave Toronto to come to New good AAA hockey, right? Travis Traylor moved from either Sweden or Norway. I forget which place he was living at the time. Moved here to play with us and billet with us for a year, and then he became a Chicago Steel Player of the year after that, and then he went out and had a really great college career, and he's playing pro now. Like, I never would have believed that kids like that would leave their meccas of hockey, right? And we had kids
Right.
coming, and then of course the Hudson family moved in with us, and to think that Lane and Quinn and Cole and Lars, obviously a storied hockey family now. Dad owns a rink in Chicago. They were playing in Detroit for Honey Baked. And again, to think that a family of that caliber and Rob, who's obviously an amazing coach, that they would pick up and come to New Jersey. But they saw the culture of what we were doing, and they wanted their kids to be a part of it. And obviously, there's no better example of what happens when you take high character kids who have an absolute passion for the game at a young age, and you put them in that environment. And to think about that, what that looked like. I mean, I met Lane Hutson as a 14-year-old, and I swore he was going to be a top 15 NHL pick. I was completely wrong. He went 63rd. I was completely right. He should have gone top 2.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But when I met him as a 14-year-old, he was the most professional 14-year-old ever. And some kids were
Wow.
playing video games.
Wow.
He had a weight vest, and he was running up the hill outside of he was running the mile up straight up the hill outside of the rink that we have. And to be able to put kids like that and families like that together in this environment was just kind of a unique thing. And so down here in the new rink, not only are we building 2 sheets, but we built space to have an actual school and an actual academy. We have 4
okay.
teachers. We're launching it next year. We are going to proctor and develop the education. We want to take seriously the fact that if we're developing student athletes, we need to develop, their athleticism and their hockey IQ. But if we want
Mhm.
student athletes, we really need to contribute to their education and
Yeah.
to make sure that they're not sacrificing something educationally by choosing a flexible model that does allow them to commit to their passion. And so it'll be our first year next year. We've got about 30 or 35 kids that are going to sign up for it between 5th and 10th grade. And like anything else, we're going to get on the journey, and we're going to learn and grow. And but I'm proud of the starting point, and I'm super excited about where it's going to go. And then the ability for that, they're going to go to school for 4 hours. They're going to train on the ice for an hour and a half. Some of that time's going to be unstructured. Like, we really believe that pond hockey time is valuable. We'll do an hour and 15 of structure. They'll do at least 15 minutes of just fun. And we're going to have a high performing, performance group do the dry land training. And so those kids are going to get twice as good in a year as they otherwise would. And
Sure.
it's going to take some time. One of the things we found in Florida is the best 12, 13, or 14-year-olds used to leave the state. They used to leave
Sure.
and go out and billet at places
Yes,
like
they did.
New Jersey or like like other
Yeah.
places. And we want to change that equation and allow the kids and families that really want to stay connected and stay connected to this beautiful environment we have in Florida. We want to make sure that they have an opportunity to live and train and do that as well. And so, we're early in our journey, but, every 4 weeks, my phone rings from some other former NHLer or former hockey guy that wants to move down here with his family, but for, and
Yep.
so we're now joking that I just got to make sure I don't recruit my kid off my team, because there's a lot of people who have figured out that being able to golf on these courses and enjoy this weather and have their wife not be so mad at them for the snow, the shoveling in the snow all the time, and they can still have their hockey journey. It's a pretty good gig.
It's unreal.
Nice lifestyle. Very nice
when you're
lifestyle.
talking about the Hudsons, I remember when Ottawa was on the ice over at Longwood once, and Lane was there, and obviously Rob was on the ice with the boys. And at the time, I didn't know, the caliber of hockey person that was on the ice with my kids. The one thing I do remember is him skating around without his skates
Without his
tied.
laces, yeah.
Without his laces, like literally no laces in the
I
skates.
would throw this on. Don't try this at home, but so Rob Hudson is an unbelievable hockey coach, on the bench and in individual skills, and a great human being. But he's somebody who absolutely was willing to think for himself and be innovative. And, when he was coaching before his kids were, grown up, he contributed significantly to Clayton Keller's development, when he was young, and so many others that, just that's the name that comes into mind. But one of the things that Rob believes is that you got to find your balance, you got to find your edges, and you can't cheat. And so for the first 15 minutes of practice, and he did it to your kids, he did it to my kids. I personally have never tried it because I don't really want to be on crutches for 6 weeks. But to have them skate without their laces tied, just literally, and when he does it with kids who are really really elite 16U players, the first couple times they do it, they don't believe that they really could do it, right? And then literally they saw my son Xander, who was not a great skater but had been doing it with Rob for a little while. They saw him do it, and they're like, all right, I'm a little bit embarrassed that this 5-year-old or 6-year-old is able to do it. I'm a 16-year-old high end trying to get recruited for college hockey player, and I can't do this. And but obviously you can see the fluidity and agility with which all the Hutson boys skate. And so it was this unbelievable cheat code to make sure that you absolutely find the center of your blade with your foot, and there's nothing supporting you. And so it's one of many really super creative ideas he had. And obviously if you look at the finished product, that probably tomorrow morning after this is there, there's gonna be a bunch of parents, I'm gonna help the ankle doctors around the country.
Totally.
A bunch of parents are like, untie your skates, I'm stealing your laces, you're gonna skate like Lane Hutson.
Well, it's funny. So we had and Lane was there one day, and I remember some of the dads standing around the rink like, "Oh, that's Lane. He's committed to BU." And a lot of the parents who had smaller children, or I understood their kids were not going to be very big human beings. They were looking at Lane and be like, "So there is a chance." And then fast forward a couple of years, we were up in Boston. We actually played at Agganis Arena, and then we played the Boston Americans with the Avs team, and then afterwards we stayed and watched the game. And it just coincidentally was like family weekend, and it was Quinn and Lane. They were just skating around the ice like with friends and family after the game, and we stuck around because we wanted to get autographs or whatever. And sure enough, both of them were skating around without their their skates totally undone. Just friends and family skating around. So it was just remarkable to see, the caliber of talent that's come, through the Longwood doors, and just having an opportunity to be exposed to that. I mean, like you said earlier, the hockey community is a small one, and it's a generous one. And, we have to, both Jamie and I, thank all the folks that have, come on the pod, and, just because exactly that, they want to help the hockey community, and you're such an example of that. And it's been unreal, just seeing all the success. But I do have a question here, and we talk about development, and you've clearly been around all this elite talent, but what do you, if you were to guide parents, generally speaking, who are just getting into hockey, or maybe their kid's been doing it for a little while, either way, but when people talk about I need my kid to develop, I want my kid to develop, what would you recommend they're really looking out for, whether it be in an organization, in a coach, how would you best guide people who are determined to give their kids the best development options?
Sure. So the first thing I would say is that, particularly when they're young, there's only one measure of success, right? And that is, at the end of the season, do they love hockey even more than at the beginning of the season? If the answer is no, it's not the right development, right? And I do see a bunch of parents who are super committed to their kids and are trying to do the right thing. And we all get caught up in it. Oh, my kid's got to be in the brick tournament, so he can be in the Quebec tournament, so he can be in this, he can be in that. Oh, well, to be a brick tournament, I got to have him at 7 years old, go to the pre-brick tryouts or whatever, et cetera. And it's I think one of the organizations on the west coast of Florida put out something on April Fool's saying that they were having a 2023 development camp or whatever, et cetera. And so we were going to come back with Longwood introduces the in utero. We're going to show hockey because we're going to have the miracle speech. Put through the belly buds. Into the,
That's right.
into the expectant hockey moms. There is a lot of pressure to try to keep up with the Joneses, and it is a sport where there is some truth to the fact that there is an advantage in starting young. Now, starting young does not mean you got to start at 2.5, and it doesn't mean that you have to be the best player on the ice at age 8. But there is some benefit of starting young. But the first thing I would just remind everybody is, if you're in a program where your kid at the end of the year just really doesn't like hockey and believes that it's a chore, then I think you're going in the wrong path, and I think you got to find an environment which makes them feel differently. Now, there are certain kids that need something that's more serious for them to love the game more. And there are certain kids that need something that's more recreational or less serious and so you got to meet your kids where they're at. And we talked about the North Jersey Avalanche and Dan May's program. They had tier 1, tier 2, and functionally tier 3. And like, my kids' journeys were all different. My son Dylan, who ended up playing, for the Chicago Steel for a couple years and at Sacred Heart Division 1 for a couple years, and then he's finishing his career Division 3 at UMass Boston, and then he played in the SPHL Pro League for 9 games at the end of the season. Um, he played Pee Wee B and Pee Wee A, and he wasn't athletically. He was kind of before puberty. He was kind of just like a gawky kid and just kind of all limbs, and just like his body didn't quite come together, if you were. And so he didn't have that confidence and the coordination that maybe a couple of his older brothers did. But then the puberty gods were great to him. Now he's the only guy with an NHL body. He's 6 foot or 6'1", and he can handle himself. And so like, but the most important thing was in his hockey journey is that he still loved it enough that he stuck with it. And then as he got older, he said, you know what, I need something more serious for me to love it. And so he went to something more serious, and he did push himself and climb the ladder to single A, double A, and then eventually triple A by the time he was 15. But like, the development has to be something where the motivation has to come from the child and it can't come from the parents. And it's really hard because the parents are so dedicated. People are spending a lot of money, an enormous amount of time. Moms are freezing in the rings. Dads are getting up early after, a long weeks of work, and moms after long weeks of work. Like the sacrifices that hockey parents make. I understand why people feel like they are participants in the journey and not just passengers in the journey. But like, we all got to remind ourselves that we got to meet the kids where they are. And just because your kid's less serious right now or wants more recreational or something that's more fun does not mean anything in terms of the ultimate destination. Eventually it does, but it's got to come from them. The second thing is, we believe that a hockey coach's job is to teach skills, strategy, and character, right? And I don't know exactly what the pie chart looks like as to how much skills or how much strategy or how much character, but it's not like 90% skills and 10% other. Like, it's got to be a balance of it. In my first journey with my older boys, I always wondered, could you teach a really great athlete how to think the game when they're older? Or can you teach a really smart hockey IQ competitive kid? Can you help him develop his body to be competitive? And you look at Lane Hutson's journey, and obviously it took a little while for his body to get there, but his mind and his compete were always there, and they were always elite since he was a 6-year-old, is what I'm told. And uh, so I think that we got to feed all sides of that, right? So, and by the way, it takes a team of coaches. So when I was coaching my older boys, I was fortunate enough to have a bunch of guys that were in their, mid to late 20s that had played Division 1. Maybe they played in the Coast or the A. They were then going to use their degrees to go into the business world. They came to work for me at Glenview, my hedge fund, doing some investment research. But also, kind of as part of the deal, they would be assistant coaches for my team, and they could, not only keep up but outskate. And so when you get guys, Anthony Aiello and Dougie Rogers and Bob Burns and so many guys that Peter Hafner, so many guys that went out there and that had played high level hockey, but also could teach the kids skills. And let's be honest, like, I'm an out of shape dad. I'm not going to teach the kids, how to accelerate out of a punch turn and have the right form. But like, some of these guys were NHL draft picks, like, they're going to, right? Like, they're going to be able to do that. And so if you're a coach that can really add to, other aspects, then you got to bring in people who can augment what you can. There's other people who are great skills coaches, but like, they may not have been the most analytical about thinking about, like, how do you think the game? And the one thing I will compliment social media on, right, in addition to bringing people like us together for affinity groups to be able to connect here, is, its ability to give you highly specialized education. There's some unbelievable Instagram accounts and X Twitter accounts that do really, really high level hockey analysis. But like, have the kid to find those, like, but like, it's out there for any coach who wants to do it. Like, I went to school on Steve Valiquette teaching about the Royal Road and the slot line and how to reverse engineer what's hard for a goalie in order to create scoring chances. And now you can go out and you can hear Chris Kreider, who's now playing for the Ducks, talk about how he was a 60 goal scorer in New York after having plateaued much lower because he spent some time with Valley and Valley taught him how to score. And that strategy piece, how to think the game, how to find space, how to, suffocate and take away space, take away time, like that stuff, you can learn it in a younger age. And some kids, that's where they have the passion. And if your kid gets there before their hands and feet get together, that's great because eventually their bodies are going to get there. If their mind's already there, like it's what makes it. And then the final thing is, we've all heard about the locker room vampire and the energy vampire and you guys are the Crazy Dad podcast, but like I take that as a compliment, which means that, you're really a podcast representing just how passionate and committed the community is. But I think we also know that there's some people who are trying to recreate their own childhood or right the wrongs of something that happened to them, and they're trying to live vicariously through their children. And
Oh,
it's really important that we all create these environments which are being a positive teammate and being a positive person, supporting one another. We got to make sure that the star of the team, Billy, who can go end to end, and Johnny, who can, make all the saves, they got to have the right development. But you know what? Like they can't be, they can't have special rules because, their teammate, who might be the 13th guy on the roster or the goalie who's just more in development, like the team needs them too. And uh, and everybody's gonna be better off if everybody gets better because that's what's gonna make practices better. That's what's gonna make the development environment better. And so, just having that character component, and that's something that, like, how did we take the Chicago Steel from missing the playoffs 7 years in a row to winning a Clark Cup in our second year? Dan Muse was hired because number one, he's a hockey genius. Number two, he's a workaholic. But number three, he absolutely knew and was dedicated to the fact that it's a character journey. It's about getting better every day. It's about a process of the growth mindset and rewarding that and honoring it and living it and showing it by example. And, I see it. I'm on the board of CVS Health. We're trying to turn around that company and that culture. We're off to a good start after a year and a half being on the board. I don't care what endeavor you're in. It's a collective endeavor. It could be corporate. It could be philanthropic. It could be religious. It could be athletic. You got to have that passion and purpose and culture aspect. And if you do, you'd be amazed how much progress you can make. And so I would say that if parents look at the organization their kid's playing for and they don't see any kind of commitment to skills and strategy and character, number one, talk to your coach. Like, say, hey, look, like, how can I get, I think you're great. You're creating this great environment, but like my son needs some extra skill work. Like, where can you refer me to, or how can we get a little bit more intensity in practice or whatever? Is there a power skating coach? Or somebody else who coaches a different team that could like help my son with this, that, the other? Or can we bring in a shooting specialist or whatever it may be? Start by asking and try to be part of the solution. But then also there's some times in which you got to find a different environment. And, one secret sauce we have is, hockey is a business for some people and it's a passion for me. And we are very not for profit. Like I lose money everything I do in hockey, but it's a passion project for us. But we've been able to bring together like so many people that are just absolutely committed to the development of young men and young women and their growth in the sport. That I've been fortunate to be able to always find myself in that positive environment and that positive culture. So it's benefited my kids, and I hope it benefits the kids in our organization.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to switch gears a little bit and just get your take on the change with the open borders and the NCAA and the CHL and how that's affecting junior programs and subsequently college, et cetera. What are you seeing from your perspective on how this is kind of starting to shake out? Because I know that there's parents that are listening that probably feel pretty overwhelmed that if they have got kids in a position that are going to be playing junior or maybe go try to figure out what path is going to be best for them. So what's your take on how that's kind of shaken out?
Yeah, it is. For those of us who've been around the sport for a long time, it still feels like chaos. So for those parents who go through it the first time, like, Again, to the extent that your podcast is hockey therapy, like, all right, let's all hold hands. We're not alone. I want to validate your feelings. I also feel anxiety and uneasiness about this. Look, I grew up as a Blackhawks fan when I was a child, right? My dad he knew somebody there. I got to go to gate 3.5 and get into the United Center. And I got to be able to see when the Hawks were playing against Wayne Gretzky and that storied Oilers team, whatever. And I got to sit and watch that or whatever. Um, uh, and when I owned the Chicago Steel, we had this advantage, which was, we created a development environment, which to many outside observers looked like the NTDP or looked like what you'd find at a high level OHL development place. But our kids would be college eligible, and and you could be a Canadian kid and still access it. You couldn't do that from NTDP is obviously just for the U.S. kids. And so we were able to get a Fantilli and a Celebrini and an Owen Power and
Wow.
and so many others to come across the border to play in the USHL. Um, uh, uh, that I don't think that'll ever happen again. I don't think it will. Like, I think the power and draw of being able to play Canadian Major Junior in and around your hometown and get paid for it, by the way. The higher level players get paid pretty well to do that. The ability to do that, um, it's a nostalgia and a draw that is pretty powerful. So I think we got lucky in terms of when I owned the Steel, and I raised the Blackhawks thing because we not only were producing great players, but we were producing great coaches and great equipment managers and great strength and conditioning coaches, and so many of them then went on to the AHL and to the NHL franchises. And it became dizzying that every 2 years I'd have to go out and hire a new coach. And some of those guys would, of course, get hired in like August, and I've got kids reporting to camp in 4 weeks. And it's not like I've got an extra USHL ready, phenomenal head coach just sitting there waiting for me to call them in the middle of August. And so I thought, hey, wouldn't it be great to combine that with the Chicago Blackhawks? Because that way it was a built-in pipeline that could feed the Rockford team in the AHL, that could feed the NHL franchise, that they could have commonality of development and coaching and goaltender development and all those things. And it could almost be just like a minor league for the hockey professionals. And I feel badly that literally as I transferred ownership of that, the game changed and I didn't see that coming. The game changed dramatically for those USHL franchises in terms of their ability to acquire that type of talent. So it's a different thing now. We can't talk about the NIL things and the Canadian Major Junior things without also talking about what may happen with college, where they may put in a rule that says that your 5 years of eligibility starts at the earlier of high school graduation. And it may not even be
Right.
high school graduation. It may be 4 years after you started high school, so you can't like sneak a PG year in there.
Mm.
And or the earlier of that, or 19 years old. And a lot of those junior leagues, including USHL and NAHL and NCDC and other things, et cetera, really are designed for the 16 to 20-year-olds, but a lot of them are older leagues. Well, now that those changes may limit somebody's eligibility chronologically, those leagues may get younger, right?
Yeah.
And so the pace of change in junior hockey, the pace of change in college hockey, the pace of change in that development path is truly dizzying. And then also the USA Hockey is considering this National Development League for
Right.
17U and for 15U, which I think is both a reaction to, but also a dedication to try to make sure that we're still trying to create the best development path for not only the top 23 players that get to go to NTDP, but that next generation of players. I personally think the system we had worked pretty well. Like, I personally believe that if your kid got to go to one of those top 15, 20 programs that were perennial, where there were coaches that taught skills, strategy, and character, where you were surrounded by elite athletes, I did think that, a majority of the USHL teams had, really great development, and obviously a kid could go major junior, and lose that eligibility. But I thought there was a great development path that we had. I kind of thought that we had that right. And sure, there's always the kid like Matthew Coronado that we got to take that didn't make NTDP, but then ended up being the 13th overall pick in the first round of the NHL draft.
Went
And
to Harvard, right?
yeah, he went
Harvard
to
guy.
Harvard, now he was the leading scorer on Calgary this year.
Yeah.
But like even though they didn't judge him in 16 years old to be like one of the top 23, there was still a great
Right.
available development path that obviously worked for him, and through his
Yeah.
own work ethic and his own dedication, look how far he rose. So I have a lot of empathy for anybody whose kid's a 2010 or 2009, who's like trying to sort out this landscape. Because even the most experienced people here were saying, "I've never seen this before." My advice is a little bit simple, right? I've never seen a hockey player who is really talented that just didn't get picked because they weren't discovered, right?
Hmm.
There are so many scouts out there. There is so much communication, and now there's so much video, there's so much live barn, there's so much tape, there's so much whatever. Um, uh, if we spent all the time we had investing in our kids' skills and knowledge of the game and character and off-ice conditioning, and spent less time worrying about do they go to this right camp or are they going to get seen or whatever, et cetera. The reality is there's a little bit of exposure or whatever that at the margin is maybe going to get them included in a conversation. But I got to be honest with you, if your kid is talented and destined for greatness in hockey, the hockey world's going to find it. Right? The
Hmm.
hockey world's going to find him. In the NFL, there was a draft, and I think he may have gone in the 7th round of somebody who just never played football before, but he was just an absolutely unbelievable athlete. And the NFL decided they'll do an international combine of just athleticism for people that might want to play football that have tremendous athleticism, have never played the sport before. The sports are designed to find the right people to play them. And trust me, there's big enough business now in college hockey that if your son or daughter is meant to be discovered, they're going to be discovered. So within that construct, right? I think you need to play where they're going to get the right support, where they're going to have the right role, we're going to have the right development, and honestly, the right balance for themselves. And there is no correlation between how many games your kid won as a child and how far they went in the game of hockey. Like it's not it's not there. And so, uh, uh, what do I believe? I believe that at the ultra elite level, the kids who are otherwise going to go the first round in the draft, and we all know it at 16 years old, there's gonna be a competition and a real confusion. Should they go to the Canadian Major Juniors? Should they go to the USHL? Should they go into college when they're 17, like Celebrini did? Like, what should they? And they can get paid now in college to the NIL deals. May we all wish that our kids are so talented. Have that.
Absolutely.
I think at that point in time, CAA and Pat Brisson are going to advise you exactly what to do. But for the other 99.5% of us that don't have those kids, um, uh, uh, if your son looks like he's going to be the bubblest kid on the team, I wouldn't chase it. I would just have him play where he's going to touch puck, where he's going to develop, where the coach knows his name, where he's not going to be sitting in the stands. Nicky Abrazizi played 9 games for Toronto Maple Leafs, and he's got a really good AHL career. He was an Avalanche kid that eventually played for the Steel. And we had a coaching change because Dan Muse had been hired by the Nashville Predators as an assistant coach. We had a coaching change late, and there was a coach who we changed mid-year. But that coach put Nicky Abrazizi in the stands because he missed a penalty shot and he was supposed to be an offensive player. He didn't like it, and he benched him. And he benched him for a lot of games. Like, he just didn't play him. And this is a kid who a year later led the USHL in points, like led the entire league in points. Had a fantastic hockey career at Harvard. And I'm sorry, maybe it was UNH. I forget which one he went to. But he had a fantastic college hockey career, and then he has had a great career with the Marlies, and now he's with Tampa Bay's organization. He played 9 games in the NHL. The fact that we had a coach put a kid in the stands for multiple games because he thought he was supposed to be a skill guy and he missed a penalty shot. Like, obviously, I made a change in the coach for a lot of different reasons. But
Hmm.
like, that's just like that was an example where we weren't living our own values and we had to make a change because we need people to live our values. You need to find an organization that's going to value your son or daughter, that's going to put them in a position where they care about his development. And whether you're talking about a 13-year-old as to whether they're playing A or double A or triple A, or whether you're talking about whether they're going to play this junior league or that junior league, or whether the team's going to be making the playoffs or not. Trust me when I say, if they work on their game, they're going to be discovered. Providence College, a kid named Johnny Mustard just was named athlete of the year, male athlete of the year by the whole school. So it's all the sports they play, and he's a hockey player.
Jersey guy, right?
Guy, right?
Yeah.
14U Avalanche Double A, right?
Yeah.
Once again, I own the Chicago Steel. Anthony Day, who's with me now building our Florida Surf franchise, begged the Steel guys to take Johnny Mustard, right?
Right.
They didn't take him in the futures draft. He was available in the 13th round of the phase 2 draft. Begged him. They didn't take him. Waterloo took him, right? He ended up being, I believe, rookie of the year in the USHL. I believe he's a Chicago Blackhawks draft pick.
Wow.
If the kid's good enough, they're gonna find him. It didn't matter so he didn't go. So he went to Waterloo, which wasn't winning as much as other franchises in the USHL. So he played 14 AA instead of 14 AAA. He didn't go to Brick or whatever. Like it didn't matter. All right.
Right.
What mattered is how he was building his skills. Teddy Merrill just won, a character award from the USHL. He was a Gaudreau finalist in the year before that. He's going to go off to Arizona State. He had a great career at Des Moines. Came to us as a billet, just kind of a, kind of an all over the place kid. Didn't have his hockey game quite together. Didn't have his thought process quite together. But like, he worked on himself, and he became this great human being and this great hockey player. And now he's going to one of the great, places to play college hockey in Arizona State, which, many people from both a lifestyle perspective and education perspective, hockey perspective, like, wow, that's like an unbelievable experience. So I would just say that having seen this with the older kids, the billets, the junior kids I've been around with, just everybody should focus on their own journey. Be the best version of yourself you can be. Find somebody who's going to care as much about you and in your game, and align yourself with that. And then eventually somebody's going to find you. And, it's not about making the right decision. It's about making the decision you make right. Whatever team you're on, make that the best situation for you by what you do once you get there, by being the hardest worker, by being the positive teammate, by asking for additional help, by asking for additional coaching and support. And trust me, that coach is going to make sure that everybody at the next level knows who you are.
Right. Just make the best of whatever situation you're in, and when you're in it. Right. It's so funny, Larry, that you brought up college hockey and it's funny you brought up Johnny Mustard, because I saw him play at Providence this past season when we went to see BC play Providence at Providence. We were in the area for a tournament, and I knew he was a Jersey kid, so it's funny. And he's a good little hockey player. It's impressive.
Yeah, he's an unreal hockey player, but not on anybody's radar screen. And again, it's the craziest thing. He's not the first one that we couldn't, the agreement was, I own the Steel, but like, I'm not going to overrule the professional staff. I'm gonna give my thoughts. Early on, I had one pick in the futures draft. They gave me one. But that was it. And then eventually they said, no, we had enough professional staff, that they gave me 0. And I was like, okay, I respect it. But like, sometimes I wish I was a little bit more vociferous, and we could have had Johnny in a black and red jersey there.
Right, like Jerry Jones, kind of on the team and kind of the GM at the same time.
Yeah, well, right? I'm not Jerry Jones in so many different ways. The franchise wasn't worth $10 billion.
That's right. Not many of us are not, right?
And I wasn't refusing to pay my stars what they're worth or whatever, et cetera. But Jones has done okay for himself, so I don't think he's going to take criticism from me.
Yes. I think you have as well. So, but yes, but it's funny you talk about college hockey, because so I love college hockey. And a lot of the parents that follow us, they're looking for their kid to play, whether it's Division I hockey or D3 hockey, or they wanted to play club hockey, right? And in my opinion, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong here, but because of the shakeup that's going on right now, and you have, Canadian kids coming down to play, in U.S. universities now. So, a team like Michigan, got rid of a lot of U.S. born players and brought in a bunch of kids from, from overseas or from Canada, right? I mean, as a hockey fan, as a college hockey fan, the product is getting so much better. And I know
Yeah.
that they're trying to put more D1, hockey programs out there. There's a handful. You keep hearing about the Alabamas that are possibly going to come online, hopefully down the road. But as a college hockey fan, I mean, it seems like that's going to explode down the road. Am I wrong about that?
Look, I hope it does, right? You look at the fans that some club teams get,
It's unbelievable.
which are unbelievable. They're more than most junior teams get. They're more than many professional teams get. And then just the willingness of the university community. I mean, universities increasingly will need to sell something beyond the education
Football.
that they offer, because that education can be offered online. So you're really
Right.
offering the convening in the community and the social experience, right? And all the things that come with that. And so, yeah, like the SEC schools, obviously they all have tremendous football strength. They have tremendous financial resources, and they have tremendous market power with television deals, et cetera. But like, I
Absolutely.
saw something the other day that said that there's the average WNBA franchise is worth $450 million. And the reason that those franchises are so successful, and remember, they pay their entire team of athletes $7 million a year. So, the athletes aren't quite making the money, even though they're the ones
Right.
on the entertainment.
Right.
The reason that they're so successful is
It's true.
because those franchises can use their market power and say, if you want to support our NBA team, you need to also support our WNBA team. If you want to, host and be the home of our NBA team, then you're also going to host our WNBA events. And it would not take a very big leap of faith for the SEC schools to say, if you want
Right.
our football programs to be on your network, you're also going to televise the SEC
Hockey.
College Hockey League, and to get 6,000 or 7,000 people in there a night, and to develop those things. And who wouldn't want to? I mean, here's a trivia question for you, or just a trivia observation. The last 10 Stanley Cups have been won by the Southern 16 teams out of the 32 teams in the league, right? There's been nobody north of Pittsburgh that's won it in the last decade, right? Because people want to live down south, because the taxes are lower, and because in general people want warmer weather. Like, that's that's been the human experience. Right? I grew up in Chicago. I would never replace it. Raise my children in New York and New Jersey. Really, really appreciate those opportunities. But we can't ignore the fact that, like, the population really, if they had a choice, a lot of people would choose to live in lower tax jurisdictions and more sunshine and warmer.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
in the event that the SEC and other places went Division I hockey, I think it would take them a short period of time to be as competitive as the Big Ten is.
Agreed.
I believe that. And so, yeah, is it going to happen instantaneously? No. People told us you're never gonna have AAA hockey in Florida because there's only one organization, and there's been no AAA hockey in 20 years. We managed to break through that mold. There's now 4 teams, and Nest Hockey has a prep team, so there's 5. And and Florida's hockey crazy. I hope that the Florida schools end up with Division I team.
Absolutely.
I also was a product of, I got to play club hockey, which was the right thing for me. At my talent level, I was never good enough to play Division I, but it was a wonderful experience. It was 32 games intercollegiate. It kept me healthy and happy, and gave me friendships and experiences that I treasure forever, and foster my love of the game. And so, look, what I would say is, I think parents should remember that even if you play professional hockey, I'm very close friends with Carl Hagelin, who had a storied career, started out as a Ranger. He was halfway between the AHL and the NHL when the lockout happened in 11-12. He was looking for ice to train because he was a dedicated guy. I was a guy with an ice rink in my backyard in New Jersey. I did a deal with him. I said, be nice to my kids. I'll give you the ice. So I got to know him and Zook and Derek Brassard and others. And we're still very close to Carl to this day. And like, he went to University of Michigan, got his degree, great 4-year college player, had a great hockey career. But then, at 34, 35 years old, he unfortunately suffered an injury that ended his career a couple of years too early. But like, that's a flash in the pan. Most of us have 40-year careers from, the time we had exit high school or college to the time that we stopped working. It's 45 years. Even if your kid's doing professional at the highest level, he won 2 Stanley Cups. At 34 years old, for the next 35 years, you got to do something else, right? So like the habits he got as a hockey player, the skills he got as a human being, like that's what's going to determine his success and his happiness, and everybody else is in the same exact position. And that's for somebody that's at the pinnacle of the sport. And most people, if they're almost there, maybe play hockey to their late 20s, trying to get into different leagues under the NHL, and maybe they do that. But like, the most important thing is we got to make sure that our kids' skills are not just that they can toe drag and that they can do a punch turn, but also that they can, handle adversity, that they can lead, that they can develop relationships, that they can think critically, that they can have an analytical mind. And whether your kid plays D1, D3, club, rec, whatever, etc., there's nobody I know who went through the journey whose kid kept loving the game at the end more than they did at the beginning of the season, who doesn't think that their kid's a better person now and more capable of attacking life because of that experience. Like, that's what we should all be in it for. And I think you're right. Like, if it's not D1, it's not D1. Because let's be honest, there's 63 or 64 programs in D1.
Right.
There's 20 that are really feeding the NHL. Maybe there's an occasional kid from one of those programs below them.
Smaller schools.
But like,
Yeah.
like anything else, like the big keep getting bigger. We were fortunate enough. I was rooting for Michigan at the end in the playoffs. We had like 6 or 7 kids that were on that team that came from Longwood programs or whatever. We were rooting for them. But like Michigan reloads, like, they keep getting good kids. They keep getting whatever, et cetera. The Big Ten schools get it. Wisconsin's coach is unbelievable. Like,
Yes.
like the Big Ten, the Hockey East, like, obviously Denver's been a franchise year in, year out, Nodak. Just like there's these schools that are iconic that are going to continue to feel that flame. And so whether your kid's playing program 55 in D1 or program 20 in D3, or whether he's playing club, hopefully they're learning the lessons out of it that are really going to lead to their success. I mean, my investment firm's called Glenview Capital because I believed that half the stuff I needed to be successful in business was stuff I learned at Wharton Business School and at the University of Pennsylvania. But the other half was stuff I had learned on an ice rink when I was a kid. And like, and I would say that, we just celebrated our 25th year anniversary as a firm. What I would say is that it was probably more like 90-10. It's probably 10% what I learned in college, 90% what I learned from youth sports. Just the ability to interact with people, the ability to learn, ability to face adversity, overcome, stay focused, like all those things, man, like, it's worth a lot more than the academic tuitions that we pay.
Wow. That's an unreal thing to say, 90-10. Wow.
Or I could be like Yogi Berra and say like it's 90% physical and 50% mental or whatever, but he's funnier than I am, so I'll quote him.
The yogiisms.
So I just wanted to bring it back hockey dad style, and then we can start wrapping up. It's getting late, but we all go through tough times in this journey. There's that roller coaster, and as I mentioned to you before we started, that Jamie and I this podcast started just as like a therapy session, but just curious from having all these experiences as a hockey dad, can you recall or share some of the harder moments that you've gone through?
Sure. The harder moments. Yeah, I'm gonna start with COVID. All right. The season being canceled, the chaos that ensued. We had this legendary team at the Steel that won the Anderson Cup, and they won the regular season. They're probably destined to win, but you never know. Like, it's a competitive, the favorite doesn't always win or whatever, et cetera. But it was a pretty legendary group there. I felt so bad for those kids that they couldn't continue. Obviously, in the middle of this human journey, there were so many things that were more important than the hockey disappointment, right? So obviously we were scared for people's lives, the elderly, the frail, the people who lost their jobs and their livelihood. I think when I look back, when I'm an 85-year-old, I look back at that COVID year as probably the strangest year of my entire life.
Sure.
But whether it be and that year afterwards, kids having their Canadian hockey leagues canceled, the the state of New Jersey making 18-year-old boys get undressed naked in the 0-degree weather in the parking lot of Ice House because we weren't allowed to use the locker rooms. Like, I'm sure that's not the most healthy thing either, to have kids like
Right.
doing that. Like, it was just like and then the follow-on chaos of having 5 years of hockey talent try to squeeze into teams that were built for 4 years. The number of kids that thought they had a commitment to college, but then everybody got extra eligibility, and then suddenly they got decode and pushed back, and then the D3 kid who didn't get the D3 opportunity, and so on and so forth. Like, I would say that environment was super frustrating because there were so many good kids who did it right. Like, they sacrificed, they did it right, they did everything. They got a commitment from somebody that they thought it was a real commitment. They trusted it, they believed, they celebrated, they whatever. And then through no fault of their own, it was just kind of like, I don't know, just ripped away from them. Again, many bigger, horrible things that happened in COVID, but just from a hockey perspective, I would say that was something that was that was frustrating. My son Justin battled some real injury issues in college. He was a kid who was an undersized goalie, so committed to his craft. Honestly, the hardest working kid I've ever seen play hockey. And I don't mean to insult all the Lane Hutson or any of it. Like, he's an undersized goalie, and there's no such thing as an undersized goalie. But just through sheer force of willed himself to be an incredible goaltender. And he finally was in a situation. He had an unreal year his junior year. He had a really bad injury at Arizona State that prevented him from playing his freshman year. Came back, won his first start on the road in Notre Dame. So it was on NHL Network. It was like a storybook thing, and then they ran through other teams in the Midwest, and it was less storybook. But he went to Sacred Heart, and he had this great season. Beat BU on the road, shut out Maine in Maine's first game since the COVID year. Like, he was just like, he was on a roll, and then in the second game, he broke his ankle and tore 3 ligaments and was out for almost. He tried to get back without surgery, couldn't do it. Fractured a bone in a vertebrae in his back when he was coming back from it. Like, just like the injuries, and I'm sure that his story is personal but not unique. I'm sure that there's many families and kids who've had career-ending injuries or season-ending injuries or things that have just prevented them from being their best selves. And again, to see the sacrifices kids get and then not be able to, not through their own dedication or whatever, but just because the random luck of somebody rolled on your ankle and you were whatever. He literally finished the game against Holy Cross on a broken leg, won the game on a broken ankle for the last minute and a half. And just you wish as a parent, not for Disney moments, you wish for the Disney moments, but you just wish that they could take it as far as they could take it and that they don't have horrible luck along the way. But that's all part of it, right? And again, that's part of the journey, and that's part of the, like, at the end of the day, we play for the respect of your peers. And like, I know so many people look up to him and his journey and what he did as a goaltender is just so committed. But like, again, those things, as a parent, as a coach, as somebody, like, we wish we could rescue everybody and write their stories. We lost in overtime to my 18U team lost in overtime in the national championship to South Kent. What a game. What a game. Like, super happy for the South Kent kids, super happy for the experience. Man, I wish I could have that, one post go in, you know what I mean? It's like, you just want it, like we're all there, we're all human, right? Like, it's not, we're not talking about somebody, whatever, et cetera, right? I would also say then that there's some things that happen in hockey that bring you the human perspective. I had a player named Maurice Campbell, who came to me as a 15-year-old, and I took him sight unseen as a 15U team because I only had 5 defensemen that I liked, and there was a lot of other defensemen at the tryouts. I just didn't like any of them. And I thought we needed something, and so I kept calling around to find people, and everybody told me about this kid, Mo Campbell, an African-American kid who's just like a great kid. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to hold a spot for him. So he came out to Longwood, to our backyard rink, the first time we practiced, and I absolutely fell in love with the kid. Like, he was awesome kid. Tough hockey player, good hands, good head, knock the kid on the ass and then smile over him and help him up. Like, it just like a really awesome kid. And so that was in April. And by July, unfortunately, we found out that he had stage 4 cancer and DSR.
Jesus.
And he lived for 4.5 years. He had an incredible journey and a brave journey. Unfortunately, he succumbed to it when he was 19. And like,
Jesus.
I always wonder what it was that like made me hold out. Like I've never held out for anything. You pick the teams that tryouts. Like I don't know why. I'm not like a super religious voodoo whatever person, but like I don't know, whatever reason I think I was meant to know Mo.
Hmm.
And then you get these frustrations, right? Like God, like why this kid? Like why this family? Such an unbelievable
Yeah.
family. Um, but then you see the beauty of the hockey community, right? Like he played one game for us that year. We played against the Little Capitals. He was going in for a major surgery. It was a 10-hour surgery the next day. And I had joked around with his parents. I was like, if you need to tell me that you got a doctor's approval. If he ever wants to play a game, we'll put him in for a shift just so he can feel a part of it. Cause he would come in sometimes and put on a red jersey and he didn't have much stamina with all the chemo he's going through and all the other stuff,
Right.
whatever. But he was there to be an inspiration for the boys. We were trying to be an inspiration for him, and turns out that he was just being an inspiration for us. But anyway,
Hmm.
so against the Little Caps, the coach couldn't have been better. The kids couldn't have been better. 2003 group. We had some success against them on the Saturday game, and then we were playing them again on Sunday morning. So the strategy was not to be egotistical, but like, let's get a lead and then let's put in Mo. But we can only play him in the first and third period because he's such a disciplined kid that he'll never get off the ice in the second period if we get caught in our own zone because he's defensive and he just won't do it or whatever. So the kids are like gripping their sticks so much that like we're 11 minutes into the game and we can't score. We put up 11 the day before. We cannot score. The kids are so
Wow.
nervous because everybody knows that we got to score so Mo can get in, and everybody was just
Right.
gripping their stick so much or whatever, et cetera. And so I looked at my assistant coaches and I was like, screw it. We had an offensive zone face off. I was like, Mo, just go, go. Let's get him in there. Break two, ice house, place goes nuts. Everybody knew. The refs,
Yeah.
whatever knew. And the other team was great. I was like, you can't hit number 76. PK2 was his favorite player. Can't hit 76, whatever. They can be better about it. So anyway, as it happens, right, and I can send you guys the videotape later, in the zone for about 12 seconds, puck comes back to his D partner, D to D, Mo shoots and scores. Right? Scores. Like to this day, I get chills every time I tell the story. Right?
Wow.
And the place goes nuts or whatever. The ref immediately goes and gets the puck, comes down the line. The other team's clapping it up. Like they couldn't have been more classy people at the Little Caps. Like it was an unreal youth hockey moment. And so then in the third period, I was like, hey Mo, you want another shift? And he's like, sure. Right. And so but like the hockey player took over him, he's taking a 3-on-2 and he absolutely blows the kid up. Right. I've told them like don't touch him.
Not to hit him. Yeah.
The kids come down on a 3-on-2. We're up by like 6 goals, and he destroys the kid with a hip check into the wall. And like very good technique for a kid, particularly who hasn't played a game all year, right? But just like, and I'm like, and everybody's like, and I'm looking at the coach and the other bench, like, I'm sorry or whatever.
Yeah.
It could have been better sportsman, but I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. So anyway, so that was the end of that trip. And then like with a minute and a half left, I was like, you know what, let's just put Mo forward. He was exhausted. Put him forward. Just go stand in front of the net. We'll see what happens. And he scores with 8 seconds left. Right.
Oh my
Immediately, like
God.
again, we can't hit him. His
Wow.
teammates mobbed him.
Yeah.
I think 8 of the 10 hours of surgery was to put him back from what they did to him when they right. Mo's story was the worst thing that ever happened to me in hockey. And Mo was probably the best thing that ever happened to me in hockey. We do this Mo Smiles event every summer at Longwood in New Jersey to raise money. We had 650 kids come out. Lane Hutson came out, Alex Laferriere came out, Dan Muse came out. We've had so many guys donate their time and notoriety or whatever, et cetera. We play youth games all day. We play pond hockey all day, and then we got the college and pro game at night or whatever, et cetera. It's just really a celebration of Mo's life and what he stood for. And then the money goes to Memorial Sloan Kettering, which was an unbelievable institution that did everything they could to get him there. And by the way, Mo got into the University of Pennsylvania, and his grades went up, not down, when he got sick, which is the craziest thing in the world.
Wow.
And he said to me, it's the only thing I can control. I can't control my body. I can't control my hockey. I can control my grades. And again, in terms of like thinking about like, what are the lessons we want from our kids, whatever. So what was my worst and most frustrating moment? Like the day I heard that news, right? But again, like it's what you make of it or whatever. Like Mo gave all of us who knew him a gift. His family continues to give us a gift by being able to kind of carry on his legacy and his story. And like, in 19 years, like he lived more life than most of us will hope to. And like, again, like that's where like the borders of the hockey world go thrown out the window, and we're all one big family. And like, and I'm sure there's a different town and a different story and a different kid that also sounds similar to other people who are listening to this or whatever, et cetera. What am I most proud about? Most proud about the fact like our sport comes together when it's time to come together. You know what I mean? Like just like that's the beauty of it. So for every frustrating thing that's ever happened to any of us in hockey, just look around, right? Your kid could have this devastating thing, but like the doctor that treated him could have been like the coach that helped him through that, the friend or teammate that tapped him on the pads, whatever it is, etc. All we got to do is look around and see kind of the beauty and what's out there, and hopefully people keep that positivity, because that's what makes this all worth it. That's why we're all hockey moms and hockey dads, and that's why we can call ourselves crazy, but we're not that crazy. I think we're onto something.
No, I mean, that's unreal. And I remember at the Ice House, when when you walk in and they got the TVs around, and there were photographs of him on the ice, with his teammates, and just I'm getting the chills thinking about it. Just well, what a story. And
July 16th, 2026. If anybody wants to come out, right? Find me on social media, Longwood Hockey or whatever, et cetera. Come on out, bring your kids, and we'll celebrate Mo's life, and we'll have a good charity tournament. But like, again, the events raise like $100,000 each year to go to Memorial Sloan Kettering. But honestly, the gift that we can give to his family to make sure that we, that they know that we carry Mo around with us, like, and that he could have that place in hockey. Like, anyway, it's been a really cool, really cool event. And, again, I didn't think I was going to shill for a charity event on your podcast, but now we found ourselves here.
If we can do anything,
here's what I would summarize it as. We're all nuts doing this stuff. But like, I'm so grateful to the parents that like aren't hockey people that have gone on this journey. I'm so grateful for the people, whether you're in Florida and you agreed to like get on a plane 6 times and fly north to play teams that you've never even heard of before or whatever, or if you've entrusted your kid to move from Toronto or Sweden to come to New Jersey to get better at hockey or whatever it is, etc. But like, also it's the village. It's the parent who takes your kid home when you can't, or travels with you, or lets them crash in your bed because we can't all make the away tournaments or whatever. And like, with all the things wrong in this world, man, this sport's right. And I appreciate you guys celebrating it on behalf of all of us.
Well, listen, Larry, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This was unreal, getting to know you better, getting to know more about all the endeavors that you've undertaken. And, before we drop, just, for anyone that's listening and, wants to learn more about Longwood and what you have going on down in Florida, if you could just share that with everyone. We'll also put it like in our show notes before, when we publish the episode.
Great. No, I appreciate that. The AAA organizations of Florida Surf. We're also Longwood Hockey. You just find it on Instagram. Or if you're ever down in Palm Beach, we're opening the Palm Beach Gardens Ice Arena is going to open up in December. But right now we're at Palm Beach Iceworks. I feel like we put up so much stuff on Instagram, you can't possibly miss us. Or hopefully we see each other in all the rinks that we're at. We're gonna field I think 14U through mites in the tier 2 category. We're gonna field 7 and 8 year old AAUs, AAAs, and then the 9 through 15 USA Hockey AAAs. And so we'll all see each other in and around the events or whatever. And we're going to be in your neck of the woods. We in honor of Mo, we run the Surfs Up Labor Day Classic for our 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds. We rent out Ice House. We have all the local teams come and play for that, and all the money goes to the Maurice Campbell initiative at MSK. And so we'll be in your neck of the woods in Labor Day as well. And again, just like finding a way to, not only create awesome hockey opportunities, but like, again, reinforce like why we're all doing this. It's been a fun journey. So I'm sure we'll all see each other many times along the way.
Absolutely. Definitely. All right. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
And thanks again for everything.
Take care, Jamie. Take care, Seth.
All right.
Thank you, Larry. Have a nice night. Thanks so much for this. This was wonderful.
All right, everybody, welcome back from our interview with Larry Robbins. It was so nice of him to take the time to speak to us.
Yeah.
Because he is a very busy man. But he loves talking hockey, loves talking shop.
But that's like so true.
It's
with
all of
like,
us.
It's like
all
so many.
us.
That's why we have a podcast.
I was just going to say, why do you think we have this podcast? Because we all love talking shop and listening to this shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But we all are like, don't want to say obsessed with talking hockey, but we all like live it.
Yeah.
Like
Some more than others.
well
I mean,
said.
like, can you imagine? Like,
well said.
he's lived the dreams of like
a gazillion people.
a gazillion, but like
Yeah.
the rink that he has on his property.
Yeah, I know, it's
like
insane.
I've
never even seen it, but I've heard from multiple people. I know it's
like
insane.
it is next level.
Oh yeah.
Like when you drive down the street, like it's in a residential neighborhood.
Yeah.
And
Yes, it is.
And it's a wealthy neighborhood.
Yes.
And there's a lot of large houses
Yes.
with a lot of nice landscaping.
Yep.
And when you drive by, it just looks like you're driving by yet another like mansion that's got like
His
a
wife
lot of
built a house over it. Built the house on top of it. Right?
no. So basically, what their home is like one piece of property.
Right.
And then as he mentioned that he bought the house next to them.
Oh, I thought that was for the billets.
It was for the billets. So this is like a third house on the property.
Got it.
So it's basically an assembly of like 3 different very large houses, some much bigger than others.
Right. Understood.
But it's unreal. But in any event, like if you were to drive by, you wouldn't think anything except for the fact it's yet another house on the block that's just like, very high end.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of landscaping in front. You can't really get a good view
From the street.
And then when you walk in, like, the presentation of like, when you walk in, everything is upscale. Like the locker room's upscale, the seats around the rink. And he has all this.
Didn't he build the Avs locker room too? Didn't he finance the Avs locker room?
I don't know about that. It certainly could be.
He did. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I have to ask Larry.
I've never been in that locker room.
I haven't either.
No,
but I know somebody put money into it. I thought Mr. Robbins was the benefactor.
It could be.
Maybe I'm wrong.
It could be, but
like I said, super generous. The gentleman is. I think he was actually also, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say he also had a hand in Sacred Hearts rink. If I'm not mistaken.
I think that's true.
Yeah,
because one of his boys played generous. Sacred Heart.
Yes, super generous.
No doubt. So in any event,
yeah, very, very, very nice man. It was my first time meeting him. Really, a lot of fun. Like really, he's like he's so easy to talk hockey with. Like so easy.
And when I remember when I was sitting with him, and he was showing me a play of his son. I think it was Adam who was playing at Princeton, and he showed me a clip.
Right.
And he's like, I sent this clip to my son, and this clip was something that was just like I forget the words that he used, but like it was such a straightforward play of his son, but like it wasn't like him like a dad showing me like, oh, look at my kid do a Michigan, or look at my kid do this like fancy thing, like my kid is such a stud. He was just showing me a clip of his son playing hockey the right way. Right. And I forget exactly what it was, but it was just like solid fundamentals, just like a hardworking shift.
Nice.
Just did the right things. And he's like, this makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
In so many words. And I was just like, it was just eye opening for me in so many ways, just to start to understand, like, first of all, how important it is from like the younger ages to develop like good fundamentals, and how like this highlight reel like society can be like really
the Instagram.
It's crazy, but nonetheless, it was an amazing interview. And
he was great.
Even
Thank you so much for taking your time to come on with us.
Listen, and in the beginning of like the whole episode, when he was just talking about like the difference between committing and being fully committed. Right.
Oh
and
that was it. Yeah.
And that's
like their catchphrase now.
100%.
Yeah.
And like talk about fully committed. I mean,
listen, he's fully committed to this stuff. I mean, and in my opinion, the academy that he's starting down in South Florida is going to be a destination for many hockey players.
Yeah.
Like you're going to start over the next like 10 years. You're going to see that thing explode. I'm telling you. You watch. It's going to be like the next IMG Academy. Watch. And it's going to be massive.
And he's had all like him and his boys like all the hockey resources you could probably imagine.
Oh yeah.
And ultimately he's like, if your kid's your kid's talented or destined for greatness, like the hockey world's going to find
We'll find him.
You know what I mean? And this is coming from someone.
Agreed.
So for anyone out there, and we all have our moments of being concerned about whether or not our kid's going to make it to the next level or whatever the case might be. It's just like, keep working hard.
Yep.
Stay committed.
Yep.
Stay disciplined. Don't ruin it for your kid.
That's right.
Make sure they're having fun. Sure. Make sure they want to keep coming back. And, if they're destined, wherever they end up next, there is not is because they want to get there. You know, it's not necessarily because of a parent like pulling this string or that string. Like, yeah, are there instances of that? Sure.
Of course there are.
But like even talking about Lane Hutson, like when the Hudsons were at the house, and like when the kid was, I don't know, 15, and he was just like running up and down and like
not playing video games.
Now to get to Longwood, like you have to go up
he's on a hill,
a long hill,
and
like just running up and down like with a weighted vest. Like that's what Lane Hutson chose to do as opposed to other things like playing video games or whatever when he was that age. You know?
Yeah. No, listen, it's actually not far from here.
No,
not far at all.
No.
Yeah. No, I know that town. They have a good hibachi place in that town.
Yes, but this is like closer.
Yes.
Yeah. It's literally like, I don't know. Like
there's a good hibachi place on, was it 9W?
9W, yeah. It's like a 3-minute drive from here.
Longwood, his rink, yeah. No, he was. I got to tell you, it was, like I said, my first time ever meeting Larry, and he was very, very cool to talk to. Yeah. And again, and thank you very much for inviting us to your charity. You know, the charity. Charity event, charity outing that he has in July. We will definitely be there. That is for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, if we can help raise money, you know, for a good cause, like in the hockey world, 100%. We're you know,
we'll share more about that in the future.
Yeah, coming in a couple months. But I actually looked at my schedule. I want to make sure that I was here for that, and I am.
Yeah.
So I was worried that I was going to be away for like Dom's hockey camp or something like that. But I'm here.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So I'm curious.
What else?
Do you think the Hurricane are going to wind up closing the door on the Flyers today?
Yes.
I do too.
Yes, I don't think there's a question.
100%. I agree.
Dude, I was watching a clip of Slavin.
They just can't hang. Oh, he's so good,
No,
bro.
but dude, like they're man on man. Like, so they were on the PK, and like Slavin, who's a defenseman, was like defending against Drysdale all the way. Drysdale, right? That's the kid's name? Drysdale?
Yes.
I keep on thinking, when I say that, I think I'm making a mistake as the goalie.
I'm pretty sure Drysdale was the defenseman for the Ducks. Was a defenseman for the Anaheim Ducks. Got traded, I want to say, am I wrong about in the Zegras trade? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Drysdale was on the Anaheim Ducks with
he's a former
with
Flyer.
Zegras.
No, he's a Flyer now. Oh, he
they
came
got
with
switched.
No, they're on the same team. Drysdale's on the Flyers.
Yes, and
so is Zegras.
And I'm pretty sure that they were in the same.
So they both came from Anaheim.
You know, I'm going to look it up while we're talking.
Either way.
But tell me what you were saying.
No, I was just saying, like watching Slavin, like playing defense against the Flyers. As a defenseman, he's in front of like his opponent's goalie,
right?
Like just keeping his stick in passing lanes, like on the.
Okay.
I think they were on the PK. The Hurricanes were, and just literally like shutting down this guy. And again, just remember, he's a defenseman. He's playing man-on-man defense on the PK in front of Philadelphia's goalie. Like it's just like unreal.
I'm wrong, by the way. It wasn't. I think I was wrong about that. I want to say it was, so the Zegras trade was somebody else. Now, all right. So what are you saying about, so you're talking about Slavin at first.
I was talking about Slavin and just like how they, you know, listening to other podcasts and just watching them play, like clearly they smother you, right? Like they just talk about how they're, you know, like a wet blanket on other teams and they can't get anything accomplished, and just watching how like their man on man system is just like, it's unreal.
Yeah. He was with Anaheim, Jamie Drysdale, right?
Okay.
He was.
I don't know. You tell me.
No, I'm telling you, he was on.
But they didn't come together.
Let me see.
Separately, they both made their way to Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. My fault. So Zegras was another trade for that guy, Ryan Poling. That's how you say his name. Drysdale was in the Cutter Gauthier trade.
Oh, that was a fucking thing.
Cutter Gauthier got drafted by the Flyers,
but then like refused to play there.
So it was, sorry, I had my mind mixed up. It was Drysdale for Gauthier.
Got you.
That's how he got to Philly.
Got you.
Okay, listen. I mean, yeah, no, listen, the Flyers have some good young players, but the Hurricane are just a fucking wagon, dude.
They're so good.
I mean, they're such a wagon right now. I mean,
I can't imagine that. Like,
such a wagon.
You know what surprised me though is like the Montreal game last night. Boy, did they bounce back.
Yes.
I mean, like
game one didn't look so hot, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
But now they totally bounced back. They
totally redeemed themselves. Sorry.
You go and totally redeem yourself.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
Unreal. Pretty bird.
Pretty bird.
You sold PD to a blind kid?
What was the other one?
Yeah.
He's like, something he says is like, I got taken by an old lady in a motorized cart. And I didn't even see it coming.
Don't you go dying on me.
Don't you go dying on me now. That's right. That's right. He said, like, watch this.
Old people,
although slow and something
dangerous behind the wheel,
can serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, totally.
Good lines, dude. Really good lines. But so you have you're what? So you're 1-1 in that series, right?
Yeah.
Going today? No, going tomorrow. So today you have what? You have Hurricanes Flyers at 6.
And that might be the only game tonight.
No, then there's
Avalanche?
a 9. Avalanche Wilder at 9. So you have a 3-0 Hurricane over the Flyers, and you have a 2-0 Avalanche over the Wild. The Wild are disappointing.
Well, is it they're disappointing or
I'm not disappointed, but I'm disappointed in this series. Listen,
so far. Listen, let's see what happens tonight.
If they win, it's a different, totally different situation.
But I mean, it's been a total goal fest.
Dude, the first game was like a
but then the second game, what did they score 6 in the second? They've
scored.
I think going into the last game,
yeah,
I think they had scored 11 goals in like 4 games.
I mean, yes.
No, including last game.
Because they were rolling before that. Yeah, you're not wrong. Listen, they beat the Wild 9-0, right? Game 1, right?
I'm going to be interested to see.
And then listen, they won their home games, right? They won their home games.
Okay, so they're back in Minnesota.
So now the Wild need to win.
Minnesota.
Now the Wild need to win their home games.
So we'll see what happens.
So
it's gonna be tough. I mean, they're so good.
That team's frightening.
I mean, I think
like they're scary.
I haven't seen enough of Buffalo. I don't think if Montreal were to get past Buffalo,
I would like that.
I can't imagine.
I would like to see Montreal get past Buffalo.
I would like to see that too, but it's just hard for me to, like, Suzuki's not firing yet. Caulfield in the beginning of the game last night, like literally off the hop, was like had his back completely turned to like center ice. The puck ended up along the boards and like was just like looking to see how the play was going to shake out.
Right.
Buffalo, like absolutely, someone on Buffalo like cross-checked him, like totally bowled him over from behind. Like no penalty was called.
Yeah.
But then it's like they are just like on him and
they're just trying to throw him off the game. You think,
dude? I mean. Yeah. But that kid Newhook,
he's
not
tough.
only is a kid, but Newhook had like 2 goals last night.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice day for me.
But nonetheless, really I don't know. I think it's going to be, the Vegas Ducks series. I mean, their Vegas is up 2-1.
2-1.
Did Marner have like a natural hat trick?
Did he last night?
I think he had a natural hat trick.
You might be right. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He had 3 goals, 1 assist, 44 points last night.
That's like, that's what that guy needs to do in the playoffs if they're gonna like take it to the next level.
So I'm curious. So would you be surprised if he like went to the Stanley Cup final, like now that he's not in Toronto,
right, and wins?
Yeah. Can you imagine that shit?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, and they were all busting his balls.
But now Toronto's got the number 1 pick.
Dude, that's fucking
And San Jose's got number 2. If you think,
which I think is awesome, by the way.
Which is unreal.
I was so excited to see that. I was so excited to see the Sharks get the number 2 pick because I want to see them do well. I
mean, it's hard not to cheer for Celebrini.
100%. Obviously, they're going to take McKenna. They're going to take McKenna 1. Dude, you don't think Toronto's gonna take him 1?
I'm not saying they're not.
You think they're gonna take the other dude?
Stenberg?
Yeah.
Ivar Stenberg?
Really? Yeah.
I don't know, but
both teams are gonna get a good hockey player.
That is true.
Yeah.
100%. I think.
You don't think Toronto's gonna take?
I didn't say I don't. I don't. The truth is, what I'm saying is I don't know, and I think people are making the comparison. I think
they're comparing who?
No, the comparison of like when Bedard was selected over Leo Carlson. Okay. Bedard was a next generational talent.
Okay. Fair, yeah.
And then Leo Carlson. At this point, I think there's plenty of people that would rather have Carlson on their team than Bedard.
He's legit, very legit.
But now, like McKenna, apparently, whatever he did in the OHL, like in terms of points per game, like he was even more dangerous than Bedard. But then he goes and plays college hockey, right? And
Penn State, 1 year Penn State.
1 year Penn State.
Right.
And like it took a while for him to get going. That's fine. Like not a knock on him, but there was talk like in the middle of the season before World Juniors that like during the World Juniors that Stenberg was like, maybe he's the new number 1 now.
Stenberg was good.
So I mean, look,
he was good.
Ultimately, I don't know, but I don't think it's as. I don't think it's as.
You don't think it's a clear cut?
Sure.
You don't think it's a clear cut?
You might think.
This is not Jack Hughes and Capo Caco. That was a clear. At the time, I don't think it was so clear, but it's clear now.
Now, right?
It's very clear
Well,
now.
listen, I think also the fact that Leo Carlson's panned out the way he is, and
He's a stud. Yeah.
he was lighting it up in the Swedish league.
True.
Stenberg is also. I don't think anyone can really just like. I don't think you can just
you don't think you don't think you'd say that McKenna's the consensus number one.
You can't look off Stenberg as being like a real consideration.
I wonder what the brass in Toronto think. I'd be curious to hear that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you don't think they're going to take the Canadian? Being a Toronto team, listen, you don't think that has any weight to it? I'm asking you.
If you had,
do you think that has any weight to it?
Yes, I think the commercial aspect of it has a ton of weight.
I do too,
and I think that it would be. I would be surprised, I think, if he didn't go number one.
Me too.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the conversations were really difficult.
If a U.S. NHL team had the number one pick, if the Sharks had the number one pick, I'd be curious to see where they would go with it, as opposed to a Canadian team. Well, especially a Canadian team like the fucking
but you also have to
Maple Leafs, which like it's super hard to play there. Like you got to have thick skin. Listen, Gavin McKenna has thick skin because you say something about his mom, he'll beat the shit out of you.
That's true. He'll knock you the fuck out.
So or maybe he doesn't have thick skin. Actually, I take it back. Maybe he does not have thick skin.
Oh,
that's saying something because somebody said something about his mom and he fucking clocked the guy.
I mean, that's true.
Did you? I read something this morning. Did you read that this morning about Gavin McKenna's mom?
No, what?
You didn't see that?
No.
Hold on.
What? Where are you going with this?
Hold on. I could have swore I saw something. Yeah, dude, listen to this shit.
What?
This morning I read this.
Yeah.
Gavin McKenna's mom charged with same weekend that Gavin clocked the dude.
Yeah.
So this was from that weekend. Gavin McKenna's mom, this morning I saw this, charged with furnishing liquor to minors.
Really?
This morning, bud.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, don't know how. I mean, it's in a lot of different places. I don't know how true it is, but that was a headline this morning. And it said the mother of Penn State star Gavin McKenna was charged last week. After investigators said she, let me see. She supplied her son and two others with alcohol just before the incident of Gavin breaking the kid's jaw.
Oh, so now the mom's being charged?
And this is for the mother. This is Gavin's mom.
Wasn't he at a bar?
Crystal McKenna, 44 of Canada, was charged and summons with 2 misdemeanor counts of furnishing alcohol to minors after liquor control enforcement officers said she was seen on video buying or distributing alcohol inside Doggy's pub, which I'm assuming is where it happened.
The mom bought it and was giving it to the kid.
And handed it to somebody. And it's on video.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, I'm assuming Penn State will make that go away.
Can you imagine, man, like the back room, like, they're like, all right, listen, we need to get Gavin off the hook, but mom, you're going to have to bait the bullet.
You're going to have to take one for the team.
Listen, these are the options.
This is what
Gavin
parents do. This is what parents do.
I was like, okay, I'll do it.
I would think that, funny. Penn State has a funny way of making things disappear.
I don't know, Rick Paterno.
Joe Paterno?
Joe Paterno, whatever the fuck his name is. Rick.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that was awesome, by the way. That was awesome.
What, Rick Paterno?
Yes, that was awesome.
Listen, first names are not my forte.
All the time. So anyway, my point is, so maybe Gavin does not have such, maybe he would not be a good fit for Toronto. I don't know. Listen, the kid's a hell of a hockey player.
That's true. So listen, we're gonna see. But
I think you were thinking of Rick Pitino, by the way.
No, I was definitely
thinking of Rick Pitino, the basketball.
No, I wasn't thinking. I'm thinking of
Pitino. I know you're thinking about Paterno, but I think you got Rick Pitino and Joe Paterno.
Yes,
confused.
That could be true, and I'll take that. Thank you for like giving me like some kind of like plausible.
Rick Pitino used to live in our town for a short period of time, so I figured you may. I figured.
Oh, you know what? Actually, that's definitely what happened.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it was. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. That's why I'm here for you.
Yeah, thanks. No worries, you got my back.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know, man. But I would think that Canadian team would not turn down taking a Canadian player like him.
Right.
It's not just any Canadian. It's he's a legit hockey player.
Yeah, but so here, I'll throw this at you. So you had Mitch Marner, right? Mm-hmm. Like total stud on the wing. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. 100%, now you have another young stud on the wing, and
nice.
that.
Oh, you're talking about McKenna.
I'm talking McKenna, but like, is that really?
Listen, it's almost like a replacement.
But is that what they need? Is that really what they need?
Probably not.
Is that what they need?
Because if he couldn't do it with Marner, then or do you think Marner just couldn't play under the pressure? I don't know.
Whatever it is, I'm just saying.
Matthews might not be able to play under the pressure.
Defense is a problem for Toronto, right? I think that's like.
Yeah, good point.
They have offensive firepower.
They have goaltending now.
So
now they do,
listen, maybe you draft McKenna, or maybe you trade your draft pick for a boatload.
Maybe. I don't know. Listen, I guess it depends what they're going to get. Can you imagine if the Toronto Maple Leafs move out of that number 1 spot and bring in like some sick defensemen? I mean, it'd be a good move, but I don't think that would go well with the fan base.
I think the fan base wants to. I think they want to win a Stanley Cup.
Of
I think
course
they
do.
want a team that's better than what they put on the ice last season.
Dude, I read something like
But they'll sell a ton of jerseys.
Anyone
who gets McKinnon is going to sell a ton of
100%. It's like Bedard, it's like Celebrini, same shit.
Yeah.
I read something that like the last time the Toronto Maple Leafs had the first pick overall.
Yeah.
Which I guess was that Matthews? Has to be.
I don't know. I'm not
the next 9 or 10 years.
Yeah.
All first round exits.
Okay. I mean,
Isn't that nuts?
I mean, it just goes to show that, like, you know, a lot of things have to go right.
Listen, it's a hard game to win. And also, I mean, hockey's a tough game to make the Stanley Cup. It is. It's hard. It's not easy. Like, you have to have a certain makeup of a team to get there.
But like, you have to have a lot of other things going your way. Like, you need to not be like super injured, or you need to be less injured than the other team. Like, you know, you need to have like your top players like firing on all cylinders when playoffs come around. I mean, you know, like, as much as Marner was like, you know, getting heat for like kind of disappearing in the playoffs, I don't know, like, I'm just looking at recency bias right now, but looking at the the Montreal Canadiens, like Suzuki and 100-point guy and Caulfield they're not dominating.
Yeah.
They're not. So I mean like, it happens, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
McDavid, I was scrolling through it again. Like, he had his like fractured ankle at some point.
Yeah, he was.
But like, I was scrolling through like the stats of like point leaders in like the playoffs.
Right.
And like, I was scrolling so far down, and then I was like, wait, I must have missed McDavid. But it was like all the way down in the 30s. Now, granted,
was he?
Yeah, like 6 points. Now look, we've moved on.
Oh,
we moved on from the first
you're right
round.
About that.
But like,
I think he had 1 goal and 5 assists. I think it was.
Draisaitl
wasn't much.
Draisaitl's still like,
what did he look like?
He's got like 10 points. He's
He's
still in like
Connor was banged up.
4th or 5th.
Yeah.
You know,
he was
whatever.
banged up. Yeah, and I'm not a McDavid fan, but he was hurt. Right. I'm assuming that's why he's low production. He normally does not do that.
Right.
Right.
But all like, case in point, like, you know, you need to have some luck on your side. You need
100%.
to, you know, so.
Yeah, you need. Yes, you do. You're not wrong about that. I mean, look at the Florida Panthers last year with Matthew Tkachuk.
Right.
You know, I mean, he you know, it's.
But it's also a problem when you like rely so heavily on too few, and you don't have depth.
And you pay them both $17
or
million
enough
a
depth,
year, or $15 million a year. I don't think McDavid's going to be an Oiler very much longer.
Well,
I just don't, and I think you have to trade him because you can't let him walk out the door and get nothing.
Let me ask you a question: If McDavid's making demands,
do you think he is?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think he's that type of guy. You think they call him and be like, "Hey, listen, we're thinking of doing this move. What are your thoughts?" You think they run things by him?
What if he's like, I want to go to Toronto?
Dude, he's got a cot in the GM's office.
What?
He's got a cot next to the GM's desk.
No, man.
GM's on the phone with somebody, and Connor leans over. He's like, "Yeah, I don't like that idea."
No, I doubt it's like that.
And the Toronto GM hangs the phone up. The Edmonton Oilers GM's like, "Yeah, sorry, gotta go."
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure he does not do that. But I don't think he's gonna be an Oiler.
The runway is because like, even just listening to like other pods and you know, like where do
they were talking about it too.
Where do they go from here? Like, what do they need to do to that team? They need goaltending. I mean, like, I think that's
they've been trying
for years.
Jari didn't work out.
This is a thing.
Yeah,
Jari did not work out.
I expected that to work out better. Not gonna lie, I expected that to work out so much.
The Jari trade?
Yes. I thought Jari was going to be really good in Edmonton.
So I think Skinner had a better like regular season than Jari, but then you get to the playoffs, he ends up getting pulled also.
Yeah, I was very surprised. I expect that to work out. I did. I expected Jari to be the stud and really kind of push them over the hump.
As soon as he got to Edmonton, he was injured.
I know. Listen, maybe it's bad luck, you know, but I expected more of it. I did.
Yeah,
I expected them to be like another Stanley Cup contender because of him.
All right, so do you think, gun to your head, who's the Stanley Cup Finals right now?
I'm just going to keep with my what I picked when we first did this.
Yeah.
I think you have Hurricane Avalanche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think that no matter who the Avalanche play next, it doesn't going to matter. And I think the Hurricane are just they're both wagons.
Yeah.
I think they're both.
Who would you rather see? Who would you rather see? Would you rather see Colorado play Anaheim or Vegas?
So I think Vegas would be the better series.
Yes.
But I'm gonna say Anaheim because I like the young crowd.
Yeah.
Like that's why, and also why I like the Montreal Canadiens.
I'm with you on that.
I like the young up and coming players.
Yeah,
I like watching.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So that's my and that Jacques guy is like a fucking
Arbor Jacques guy.
Oh my god. I love watching him. He just wants to fucking kill everybody.
You see how he was like slashing that dude like repeatedly on the fucking arm?
Guy's a
Speaking of slashing,
fucking
what about
animal.
McAvoy's two-hand at the end of the Boston series?
Yeah,
He
that was
fucking clobber. And
that was yeah.
and like
Didn't he punch a guy in the face?
No, he took a two-hander and like swung his stick. And
Didn't he also punch a guy in the face? Like
I mean, maybe right after.
I think pretty sure he ran over to him.
He
and did that.
two-handed him and then
Yeah.
he like attacked him.
Yeah.
After getting slew-footed.
Which again is not. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was
Listen,
definitely a slew foot.
no, you're right. You're not wrong about that.
And his fucking wires got crossed. I think,
I've never seen him do that before.
dude, but like to two-hand someone like that, like that's like
It's aggressive.
You're fucking seeing red.
Oh yeah, you have no control over your body whatsoever. Like yeah, that was surprising from him. You know what I mean? I've never seen him do that.
That was unreal.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Yeah. So that's my Stanley Cup final. I don't know. We'll see, but it doesn't look like those two teams are slowing down at all.
What would be if you could choose like the like your biggest? What would be the underdog
Stanley Cup
final
finals
that you would like to see?
Ooh, I would like to see Ducks against the Canadiens.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm with you on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That would be a cool Stanley Cup.
You'd rather
final.
see that than Minnesota over the Canadiens?
Yeah. You mean Buffalo or Philly?
No. So
Minnesota's in the West.
In the West, so versus
Right.
the Canadiens, right? So I'm saying,
no, I don't need to see Minnesota.
You don't see Minnesota.
I don't need to see. I mean, it'd be cool because Quinn Hughes, but if we're talking like an underdog,
yeah,
because I don't think Minnesota's really an underdog. Like
the way it looks right now.
Well, playing against the Avalanche, anybody looks like an underdog. But like young up and coming teams, I would love to see the Canadiens play the Ducks.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. And I hope next year the Sharks are in it.
Yeah, well, they'll definitely make. Definitely.
Hopefully, they didn't miss by much this year.
Not by
It wasn't awful.
No,
But
you got to think next year also. Like obviously they're in the West, so it's a different story. But in the East, like you have to think Toronto and
Florida
are making comebacks.
Yeah, I don't
right.
know. Barkov's going to be back.
Yeah.
He was out the whole season. Yeah, I think this can be different.
Yeah.
I would love to see Brady Tkachuk get traded too. Just saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about that.
Yeah, so I keep hearing like he's going to move this offseason.
Maybe.
Is it true? I don't know. New Jersey's nice in the summertime. Just saying. I'm pretty sure he's got a house down the Jersey Shore. Just saying.
What does he?
Pretty sure his wife's from Jersey.
Oh, right on. Yeah, Sonny Meta, reach out to the Tkachuk team.
And fucking what's his name? Connor Hellebuck. Go get it.
What? He's not from New Jersey.
No, but you just need to reach out to him because he's a fucking USA goaltender.
Yeah.
I mean, I listen. I love our goalies, but Connor Hellebuck walks in the door and
what series what series excites you more?
Now?
No.
You're going to give them to me?
Yeah.
Let's hear
Colorado versus Carolina or Anaheim versus Montreal. Which one would whets your chops more?
So I think the better series would be the Avalanche against the Hurricane. I think the better television series would be that.
Yeah.
Just because of the superstars that you have on the Avalanche.
Yeah.
You have some guys on the Hurricane, but the Hurricane are more of like a gritty team that play together. You know what I mean? They don't have.
They're a team.
They've got. Don't get me wrong. They have stars, but not like the Avalanche do.
Right.
Agreed.
Right.
So I think I would like to see. I think the Hurricane will give them. It will be the best viewer-wise Stanley Cup Finals.
Yes.
Right. Like excitement-wise.
You mean the Avalanche?
I would like. Yeah, the Avalanche against the Hurricane.
Yes.
I think that would be the best to watch as a fan.
Yeah.
But I would love to see the Ducks play.
Okay. Montreal.
Yeah.
All right. So then here's like a stupid one. Well, maybe stupid is not the right word. Which would you rather watch? Would you rather watch Avalanche versus Montreal or Anaheim versus Carolina.
Oh. I don't think I'd want to watch either of those.
Montreal, I would definitely want to rather
Montreal,
watch Montreal.
the Ducks?
Montreal. If I had to choose between those two,
You said
like
Montreal-
mismatches, the mismatch. Like
You want, I see what you're asking me.
Right.
Okay, so you like the Avalanche. Okay, the Avalanche against the Canadians.
Or the Ducks, versus
against-
Carolina. Which series is more interesting to you?
So I think the better series would be. I think that the Avalanche would wipe the floor with the Canadians.
Yes.
So I think the better for viewers would be the Ducks against the Hurricane. That would be the better like series to watch. The other one may go 4-0.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's yeah.
I wonder when the last time the Stanley Cup. Oh wait, when was it?
4-0?
Yeah, it was a sweep. Do you know?
Did the Devils do it?
The Devils swept the Red Wings.
They did, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if that was the last time it happened.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
Anyway,
Why don't you look that up, Scott?
I don't. We should
That's
probably
not
wrap
important.
this
Yeah.
up.
All right. That was an awesome episode.
It was, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, good shit.
And now I'll bring Otto a ice cream fried chicken next time.
Yeah, and so I just want to go on the record for saying
That you like this shit.
That
You're on board.
I'm on board. I think it's very good, and it's worth a try. I don't think you should wait.
Don't wait online 45 minutes for it if you don't have to. Just go to Velardo's.
Just go to
Deli
Velardo's
in Nutley, New Jersey. You know, yeah. But now we both agree that we see why they ran out of it at Yankee Stadium.
I do see why. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it's
because
fun. It's a fun thing.
It is fun. Yeah.
Yes.
It was good. I enjoyed it. And you
Yeah.
being the chef, you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did.
God, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, it's definitely more about all the other things besides the ice cream.
I'll have to bring something fun next time too for next episode.
Yeah, maybe we should do this more often.
We should. We should do that hot wings thing too, by the way.
I'm gonna fucking crush you.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about that actually.
I don't think so.
You have a really high tolerance?
I think I'm pretty decent at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I gave you a raw jalapeno and you took a healthy bite,
It wasn't
you're good?
me. It was the jalapeno.
I don't even know what
I
that's
think it was
from.
from Zach Galifianakis in some movie. It wasn't me. It was the jalapeno.
Do you have a bank of payphones?
Did Caesar really live here?
This is Caesar's Palace.
Great movie. Yeah.
Wait, but could you like
I think I can hang. Yeah.
you could eat a jalapeno?
Yeah.
Raw?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
just,
yeah,
like,
jalapenos?
snack on a raw
100%.
jalapeno.
When Nancy and I do Mexican,
Yeah.
I have no problem just eating the jalapenos, just popping right in.
Like raw,
No problem. Yep,
like raw
100%.
dog.
No problem.
Wow. Okay.
Zero.
So I will
Zero problem with that.
So I will definitely take the challenge,
Yeah.
but
I have
you
no
seem
problem
to be
with
a
that.
formidable opponent.
I have no problem. I actually like Nancy's like, oh, like, do you want me to leave the jalapenos off? And I'm like, no.
No, I also leave the jalapenos in.
Yeah.
So
100%.
And I'll eat them, but I also am cautious about like how big of a bite I'm taking.
Oh, I will eat an entire, like, they come in like discs, good sized discs.
yeah.
I eat the whole thing. No problem.
All right. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. When I go to so if we're talking about Velardo's Italian Deli, I did not get one there because I had to go. I had to pick Dom up from school, and the line was formidable. So they let me walk right up to the front since I called ahead for the ice for the.
oh really?
Oh yeah, for,
that's
for
nice.
the ice cream chicken. Yeah. It was perfect because the line was huge.
Yeah.
The line was enormous.
Huge.
I would have been there for.
It was
Not
the
40
biggest-
minutes, but I would have been there for a while.
It was the biggest line.
It's the biggest line ever. But when I normally
Never quite seen a line that big before.
Yeah, right. So, but when I normally go to Italian delis,
Yeah.
I normally will get an Italian hero with everything on it, and I ask for hot peppers. Like I want hot peppers.
Yeah, I got you. I do the same thing.
Yeah. And I will come home and I will go into my fridge and I will take out a jar of hot peppers and I will add more onto it.
Oh, you're a fucking savage.
I'm assuming you do the same thing.
No, I don't necessarily
You
add
add
more.
more? Oh,
Why wouldn't you just get enough from the sandwich place?
Because
Why
they
do you-
never add enough.
So tell them to add more.
I do. They never add enough.
So then tell them to give you some on the side.
It's never enough. I have a whole jar at home.
But it's not the same as what they're putting on the
No,
sandwich.
it's just the exact same thing.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Because I buy it from there.
you're in the know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. So yeah, try Velardo's for the ice cream chicken that Scott and I just tried.
It's like Buckethead. You know the guitarist Buckethead?
I don't.
There's a guitarist named, he's like a metal guitarist.
Oh, and this guy has a bucket on his head. For those of you who are listening to us, the wrapper of this not fried chicken ice cream, the chicken has a bucket on his head, which looks like a popcorn bucket, right?
Yeah.
On his
Here,
head. It was good though.
There's Buckethead.
Oh, he's scary. He actually looks like a combination of like Blue Man Group and like a KFC junkie.
Well, he's a seriously good guitarist.
Yeah, he is a frightening looking human being.
He was in Guns N' Roses for a minute.
Was he?
Yeah.
He's a frightening looking person.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really a fan of his look.
I mean, but he wears
He
a
looks
bucket.
like
He wears a bucket on his head.
He looks like he belongs in a fucking horror movie.
Yeah, but he's a super talented.
I'm sure he is, because you have to be super talented to look like that.
Check out Buckethead.
Like nobody in their right mind would ever look like that unless you're super talented.
Unless you're a Buckethead.
Because if you're not super talented, they probably think you're just a fucking serial killer.
Yeah, that's not.
Look at the
normal.
dude.
It says KFC funeral.
Like I said, he's like a fucking serial killer. You know?
Yeah. Anyway, that's exactly.
And that's episode 66, folks.
All right, let's end it. Okay.
That was
peace out,
fun, buddy.
everyone.
See
Okay,
ya.
Later.
Later.